up, people? It's your man Black Cobra back once again with the Wheel Life Show. And yes, today we're going to have guests Mickey, evX, and Law Laxina. But we're going to talk about a lot today. We had a whole lot to talk about as usual. A whole lot of wheels. There's like a million wheels that are coming out. Some of them are already out, having issues. And we're going to talk about some of that as well. But we're also going to talk about, obviously, the Wheel Life Rally and the Amped Electric Games. We're going to talk about both, but we got to do one at a time. So without further ado, let me bring in one of our guests here. I almost caught you there. It's Mickey. He was
Still
just drinking something.
I was.
Yep. Let's go. We can go with that.
Oh, I like that. That's easier on the ears.
Is it? Okay. You got that? Hold on.
I like those clown sounds are good.
Outside of that, we have to go into the music, and we don't want to do that. So Mickey, how you doing, man?
What's up? Pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
So I'm asking, are you recovered from the Wheel Life Rally?
Oh, you know what? It's funny you asked that because obviously you have footage of it the day of. After that last little race there, I was like, I don't know how I could do another one. And then we did another one, and I was like, dude, my legs. when I ride my quads and my hamstring, like the whole leg, but mainly what's on top, your quads.
Yeah. You talking
Yeah, so
about your thigh muscles?
my thighs, yeah, the
Yeah.
top part of your leg. I don't know. I don't work out. So the top, that they were on fire. And then I famously said in a little video, like, I'm skipping leg day because Mondays are the days that I go to the gym and do leg stuff. But surprisingly, turns out if you actually do some workout, even a little bit, by the next day I was fine. But
Yeah.
I swear that day I was like, I'm not gonna be able to walk tomorrow. But I was just fine. It was like a great workout. So thank you for that. So I got
Yeah.
like double leg day.
Look at that. You're welcome. Look at that. Anything to help. Anything to help. I just wanted to do
I
my
have to get
part
my
to help.
scrawny self a little bit bigger.
Well, my big ass thighs, when the muscles hurt, they hurt. I'm like not able to walk. So what's up, guys? I see we got a few in the chat room already. What's up,
Yeah.
Malcontent Youth? What's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. Patrick, good to see you too, man. Simon Schuler, g'day. G'day, mate. Leo's in the house. We got Kevin Holderman, the Splice Master. He's in the house. Wheelie Brady, one of the fastest guy at the Amped Electric Games, one of the fastest times. What'd you have? I think Wheelie had like 5.3. I think 5.3 was the fastest. Amber Blades was right behind it with 5.5, I believe. There were some fast times out there. Showtime is in the house.
Wheelie Brady had the fastest? Is that what you said? Wheelie Brady
Yeah.
had the fastest time on any of the tracks?
Yeah. Well, he had
Wow.
he had the fastest time on that track that day. Different events though, they did move the things that were tracking it. So on that, when they were doing the overall, they were doing the women, and then they were doing the men, and they were doing under 100 volt, over 100 volt, whatever. But he got 5.3. Crazy.
Right.
The speed was crazy. If you guys watch some of those videos when you see guys blazing by, they were really moving. There was some fastness going on, that's for sure.
I will say it's probably easier to move fast when you have actual traction compared to your event.
Yes, and that was so funny because some of the people that were at both, I was like, well, Law knew already because he's ridden in both, but most people don't really know. That's why on that test lap, I'm like, just realize that this is not a track. This is a lot of dirt and gravel and stuff. So you got to be more careful. And a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know, but when I see people like you only do street. You're not an off-road guy, but you were out there.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm still to this day befuddled is the word I'm going to use on how to actually be better at that track. I just don't get it.
The only way to
It
be
was just
better
like ice.
is to be better. Like okay, you got to have a wheel with a knobby tire. To me, like without a knobby
I
tire,
had that.
it's right. So you got a knobby
Well,
tire.
hold on, because Tarzan had no knobby tire and he was killing it.
Yeah, but what was he riding? Wasn't he riding the
MSP. Was it an MSP or RS?
I can't remember what he was on. But I know that I thought he had
Did you hear what I said?
a crossover tire. Yeah, I don't know which one he was on. I don't remember.
Either way, he had a lighter wheel,
Yes,
so that's important too.
that's important. I was like I said before, the V11 was doing very good on that track. Although I didn't have it this year, but I
I
think
don't.
it's because of the pedal height, and the fact that the suspension was giving me more traction. I don't know, but it was making it
Maybe.
happen. It was
I don't
definitely
know
making
that
it
a
happen.
crossover tire really would help. I mean, it's just kind of like that is the loosest dirt you'll ever ride on. Even I think your guy Rick was like, "Yeah, it's extra loose."
Well,
Like,
it was because the previous year it wasn't as loose because he had more rain. So when it's really dry, and it's a lot looser, it's
oh,
harder for him
right.
to keep it and make it like solidify it so it loosens up. And he drags it with the dozer thing, but you can only do so much when the terrain itself. So it was looser than normal, but it
Yeah.
was crazy.
I
I,
think the Sherman is a bad choice.
yes, because
Although I
it did
don't
well though.
understand. Yeah, so that is like this is why this stuff you can't take too seriously, like a sport that can be measured, right? But that guy, yeah, who was leading the pack, he's much heavier than me, first of all. So maybe he's digging in more or something. Maybe I don't know what's going on, but he was doing really well on the Sherman. But in general, I think you need more torque, right? Like to get back to where you were. And
Part
the
of it's
low
the
end torque
wheel,
is nothing.
part of it's the
Yeah,
wheel, part of it's the
the
tire,
Sherman's
part of
not
it's the
great for that.
person. Because Jeremy, he always does really well, and I don't know how. Like he does really well. This year he had the master, so I understood. But he was doing really well the previous years. He
Yeah.
won both years on the Sherman, and I'm like, I don't know how. Although he wasn't always in first place. Both times somebody messed up, and he ended up taking first. Law fell off.
Ah,
They both fell off the wheel, and Law ran with his wheel through the finish gate the year
sure.
before. And I was like, you can't run through. You got to be riding your wheel. So he lost. And then Jeremy took first. And then before that,
Mm.
who was it? Um, Somebody else. Who's the guy who went back? Oh man, this crazy kid that went back home and not riding anymore. Who never Wheezy was
Oh,
driving like a nut job, but he was
he
same
didn't
thing.
place at all. Showtime was
No,
saying he never placed at
no,
all.
he was having trouble. But it was either him or was it Googly Eyes Jesse? I don't remember who it was, but somebody else did the same thing. Jeremy
Yo,
had issues
these
with. Oh,
names.
and then I was passing. I had to lead the whole race, and Jeremy passed me at the very end because of loose sand. And I'm like, damn it. So it's like you never know what's gonna happen, and that's why I love the off road because it is so challenging, and you can't go
Mm.
there thinking, oh, I got this, because you never know what's gonna happen. And
Do people think that? Like,
yes, yes,
really? I mean,
yes,
I guess Jeremy would be the only person I would
yes,
excuse that for.
yeah, because he won twice, so he was like, I got this, and I'm like, well,
That, and a lot of the terrain around you guys would be off-roady, like
no,
compared to where I live,
not
right?
really. Street.
Are you
Mo-
telling me he never rides off-road?
He he didn't ride off road until we kind of made him. Like he
But he
didn't
does. But now he does it.
only, but we only have like a couple of little off road. We don't have much off road stuff here. We have little trails through the woods. So yeah, go through the woods. But it's not really like what we did. We don't have that kind of thing here.
Well, then I'm still in the I'm befuddled
Well,
because
but that's the thing is we do it like when the event comes, like they start going through the woods more and trying to, but it's really hard
mm,
to train for. You just got to be loose with it. Let your wheel flow. Like I remember the first year especially, he was like, "How the hell are you in front of me?" Because he's like, "You look like you're about to fall," because I just let the wheel go, the V11 was like bouncing and all over, but it was high. So I was just
Yeah.
flowing with the looseness and not just moving. And
I
he's like,
was trying to control it a lot,
you
but
can't. You got to let it
my
go.
reasons were different. I was like, I have a lot to lose if I have a bad fall and like I
Gotcha.
screw up my wrist or something. Whereas like on the
Yeah.
street, I know how to navigate the waters of not falling and breaking a wrist.
Right.
But there, I was like, it ain't worth,
I
you
understand.
know,
Yep.
the next few months of pain.
Yeah.
So I was really, really trying to control it.
The good part about it, honestly, was also because, or to me, is if you fall off road, a lot of times there's less injuries because
Yes,
people were falling in dirt and grass,
I
and
did fall.
yeah, you did bad. Oh, ass over tea kettle, camera on, and everything, y'all.
I know. Man, if I'd have thought about it, I would have
The
sent you the
footage,
footage so we
yeah.
could look at it. It's just my point of view, but
It was kind of
um,
cool though. It was kind of cool. A lot of the videos have not made it out yet, guys, and your emotion, and you guys will see them soon because there was several people like Mickey that had on chest cameras or head mount. I know that. I think Sensei Vegan might have put something out. He's usually pretty quick. He might have put something out first person, but it was a
oh
lot of
yeah,
fun. It was a lot of fun, and I didn't even get to race this year. I was mad because my master. I was like, oh, I really want to race, but there's a lot of work that goes into the event, and it's just, and I need to
I still have
incorporate.
my bruise, by the way.
Oh, do you? Let me see. Let me see.
It's very faint. You can't really tell anymore. But when I fell, I landed like on the side of my elbow, but I was
Yeah.
wearing lazy rolling jacket.
Hmm.
But so it just felt like ow, right? And then
Yeah.
like the next few days, it didn't get any worse. It just felt like, oh yeah, I felt like I fell, right? And then I
Yeah.
looked down one day, like 3 days later, and I was like, whoa, God, it's black. I was like, I didn't, it doesn't even feel that bad. At that point,
No,
the pain was subsiding, and I was like, it doesn't
but it's
feel like it
fun
was that,
though. Like, to
yeah,
me, that's the biggest thing about the event is I always leave with a smile, thinking, "Man, that was fun." Like, you don't. I mean, riding in the road, we have a good time, but that's fun to me. Like exhilarating and your heart pounding and stuff. So, there's a lot going on. But what's up, Brian Zoom Wheels? I see you in here, buddy. 1,278 miles on my V12 since August 20th. Okay, somebody putting in work.
wow.
Bunny Slippers, what's up? Oh, Francisco's in the house. What's going on, Francisco? Hold on, I got it. Let's go. Mickey likes that one better. So,
Yes.
oh, Ivanka loves the Abrams. Hope it don't cut out on you.
Ugh,
Arias high
scary.
torque. That's what he was riding. I think that's what she was trying to tell us. That's what
Oh,
Tarzan was
okay,
riding.
yeah, yeah.
Have you guys seen yet another piece on the news about how illegal EUCs are in NYC
Who wrote that? Who wrote that?
and the USD 100 fine for riding? Yeah, that's Leo wrote that, and that was
Oh
from
yeah.
these guys. True to One's interview, she said, I heard there's $100 fine, and then she said, but they said that they have not gotten one yet, and I'm like, nor will they. You know, yeah, that I
You
mean,
know why they won't, Cobra? You know why those guys won't? They don't live in New York.
oh, uh-oh. Shots fired! Shots fired!
Especially their fearless leader. I can I say this on there? I think I will. The True to One crew is basically a crew led by a white guy, but the crew is all minorities, and he lives in the South as a redneck. He doesn't even live in New York City. Like it's a
Ouch!
laughable scene.
Mickey,
I'm
ouch!
just saying.
Wow! Wow! Okay, I don't share his opinion, guys. That's Mickey's opinion. I don't see it that way. So that's
Hey,
just so you know, that's Mickey's opinion. But hey, I mean, yes, he does live in the South, and but he moved there. He was living in New York, and he moved to the South right as they were doing all this.
yeah,
So
likely excuse with that thick Southern accent. Also, yeah, it's a joke.
I have a feeling you guys have crossed paths before.
Actually, no. Well,
No.
one time It was his first time visiting New York City. Dude, I really don't think he's from New York at all. He visited New York for the first time ever a year ago, came to the San Gennaro Festival. He was a friend of Paul's. He met up with me and DJ Strip, and then we showed him around and we rode around and he was like, "Wow, you guys ride crazy here. Like, maybe, if I knew the streets better, maybe I'd be better." And then later he was like, "Hey, Strip, what should I do?" I was like, "I don't know, we can ride wherever you want." And then he went to Central Park and ate it hard and crashed into people like while he was riding. So this dude's not from New York.
Okay. Well, I can't say either way. I just know what I was told. So I guess you got more experience there in that situation than I
But our
do.
experience together was
Yeah.
cordial. It wasn't, you
Yeah.
know.
No, I can say that I really like Paul. I really like August. I really like all the guys. Um, I I'm glad that they did the interview or that they're doing what they want to do. I just wish that the interviewers wouldn't phrase the whole illegal thing and keep doing that. And they keep pushing that part of it.
Yeah, but
And
that's their problem.
so the
They
whole
they
interview turns out to be people see that part of it. And it's like,
right.
wow, okay.
I have I have a lot to say on that real quick because they've done this 3 times now, and every time they pretend like it's some sort of thing for the community. And we told them, first of all, why are you seeking out expose news journalism? Like, Inside Edition does exposés on like criminals and stuff. So they sought that out, and then we told them you can't control the narrative when you just hand information over to these companies. If you want to put something out that about yourselves that's interesting, that gets the attention, aren't they video content creators? Make it yourself. Why do
Yeah.
they keep going to the news where
Well,
you can't control any of that?
when they do the news interviews, I'm it's like it really puts it out to a broader audience. So like I said, I'm happy that they're trying to reach out to more of an audience. But I do have a problem with the way the news portrays it. I mean, like
But that's their
I'm
job, Cobra.
right. I
Their
know
job is to
if
do
it
that. So
if it bleeds, it leads. That's really what they think and how they think. So when they see something positive, like us riding and stuff, and I'm like thinking, okay, they're gonna push that out there, and then they flip it and they're like, oh yeah, well there's $100 fine. They haven't gotten one yet. I'm like, wow, that's how you end the interview. Like the last thing that people think about is that it's illegal. And that's what everyone.
right.
So all the people that have talked to me, oh, I saw that interview. So it's illegal, huh? I'm like, oh Jesus. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
it causes a problem, and obviously because of what I do, it causes a problem. So,
Well,
but
that's
I'm
my
like,
point is like you could not seek that out. You could choose not to do that.
yeah. Well, hey, all I can say is you guys know how I am. I'm all about positive, so I'm trying to push out the positive and hope that it overrides the negative that the spin that the media put on it, which sucked. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. I want to steer back to why we're here, guys. So I wanted to say what's up to everybody. EUC Grill Piece, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Um, Couple of months ago, there was a legalization in Brazil, and police were impounding scooters and EUCs in several cities. Crazy, yeah, I know. And I'm hoping that we get past all that. I know several people were trying to do what they can to get past all that, but we can't change legislation alone. We need people to help us. What's up, man? It's Jeremy Electrocycle. We're trying to get more people to to be on board with positivity and try and stay positive and steer this to a positive light. Um,
Yeah, like your event. Great positive event. I think it's probably one of the better events out there.
Yeah, it was amazing. I had so much fun, and I was really happy to see you and Law and everybody that made it. Malcontent and several people that are in the chat now that made it to the event. It was really great. I'm glad. I'm really great, and I'm glad you guys made it because I know how amazing it is. I just want other people to see how amazing it is, and now that
For
other
sure.
more people have seen it, then I'm hoping that we can continue to make it grow. So Francisco said, "What's up with the misleading Go George Girl Go Fire Sack video? I did not see that one yet, Francisco."
Oh, he wants to dive into that, huh?
Yeah, no, I ain't going there. I don't know. Showtime said, "How's your sinuses, Mickey?" Because she said you and her were having trouble with all the damn dirt.
Oh, dude, they're much better as soon as I got home. But like when I got on the train back, everybody was looking at me like, "Where the hell have you come from?" Just dirt everywhere.
So Malcontent used to had a blast at the rally. Was totally hectic but fun nonetheless. Yes, man. that hectic is what where you have a blast. I practice in beach sand all the time. Yeah, Roger, I really wish you could come to the event because I'd like to see you on a couple of the rally tracks, see how you do, because Roger likes to push himself a lot. So, um, let's see. I'm ready to ride. Yeah, he said I'm ready to ride, for Francisco. I know you are, man. How are you really ready to ride though? Is your back saying it's ready to ride, or just you saying that? EUC
Oh, he ain't
Lucifer.
ready. I mean, his mind is ready, but his
Yeah,
body's not.
I didn't think so. He said, true to white one. That's messed up. Yeah, because of your comment. Shots fired. That's right.
Look, I'll put it out there. I have respect for August, but not so much for the
Uh-uh.
other guy.
Well, like I said, I think that there's a lot going on. They do a lot of things, and like I try not to get in people's business, but I know I'm like, all right, I just try to cheer people on, but it's yeah, that negative spin hurt. I was like, oh damn.
But that, yeah, it's not good, right?
I wish I was an advanced street rider who can break. The only way to become that way, Cameron, is to practice, man. You can't become what you want until you practice doing it.
Cameron's amazing. He's
Yeah.
he's messing around, bro. Cameron's great at riding. What
Is
are you
he?
talking about?
Well, I
Yeah,
didn't know who he is.
he's one of
So,
the he's one of the best people in Portland.
okay, Cameron, stop talking shit. And Ruben White, we can't talk to the media. They are not our friends. No, they apparently, I mean, you can see that you think they are, and then they do something like that and spin it on the end, and you're like, damn it.
But like I said, that's their job. Like we
Yeah.
shouldn't be surprised when that kind of thing happens because it's like if your job is to serve and protect people, when you serve and protect, no one's going to be surprised, right? But the
Right.
media's job is to create a salacious story that people watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you
And
won't
they
want a
do.
bad salacious story, then don't talk to them.
Grill P said, never tell the cops or the press how fast EUCs go. First rule of EUC Club, 25 to 30 miles an hour top. Jeez.
No, when they ask you, say, I don't know, I never tested it. That's the answer.
Ventures of Gold, what's up, man? Yo, that's funny. First rule of Fight Club. First rule of EUC Club is there is no EUC Club. That's true. What's going on, Jose? What's going on, man? It's been a minute, yo. We gotta hook up and ride. Okay, so oh yeah, you caught that one. So all right, so we're gonna get into real talk. I'm trying to catch everybody. Chooch blew up the Bigot T4. I'm not surprised. The T4 is not a wheel for Chooch. He was talking about it or whatever, and I was like, Chooch T4? I'm like, I could see Master or like I don't know, Bigot Master Pro but T4 that's not strong enough for him. I guess I was right.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he cut out on the V12 high torque?
Yeah, and I think he was pushing that to the limits. He
Yeah.
he rides really hard out there, and he be going crazy. And I'm like, okay, on the wheels that aren't meant to do that. His heart is ready, but his body is not.
Right.
Levette, what's up, Levette? uh, so Showtime said all I can say is NYC showed up again. Mono rides, EVX, Tarzan, etc. Much love. Yes, yes. Appreciate all y'all for showing up. Mickey, block your ears. No, definitely. I appreciate all you guys for showing up. It was definitely something that I was happy to see. You guys know, you guys see the effort. If you don't, I mean, I hope you can tell. I put a lot of effort into trying to promote and get people to come and participate and stuff because I know how much fun I have when I do it. I know that I leave going, I can't believe we got a chance to do that. And for someone like me, who I do a lot of things that I have to do, not always what I want to do. So when I get an opportunity to do what I want to do, I push it because that's the one opportunity. I don't get it a lot. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And when I leave every year I leave going, we just did that shit. Like that was so much fun. And once again, I felt that way this year, even more so because there was more people. So it was a lot of fun. Grill P says 2 days is a must next year. Hopefully the ambulance price isn't too high where we can't afford 2 days. I feel like this might be the only issue, or is it? Well, listen, I really would like to do 2 days, and I talked about it, but it's not always something that we can do just what I want. um, it's not. It's like if he can do it, because he's remember the track is it's a world renowned track. He does a lot of championship races there. He has a lot of televised events and stuff, and he squeezes us in between stuff. So trying to do
Right.
2 days might be difficult for him, but I mean, might be possible. But one of the things that Mickey and I talked about is it's hard to get people to realize that you have to pay for this stuff. Like nothing is free, right? The first 2 years I did the event ended up coming out of my pocket, and luckily other people helped out. Jeremy helped out, Showtime helped out, but I end up having to pay for the guy because we didn't make enough to pay the guy. This year was the
Right.
first year that I actually made enough to pay the guy, and I still had people whining about paying. And I'm gonna be honest, like I don't want to make people pay. If it was up to me, I'd just do it for free for everybody. But
Sure.
I got a lot of bills. I can't afford to be doing this kind of thing. And I did it the first 2 years because I really want this to happen. And you get to a point where you're like, okay, if it doesn't happen at some point, I'm gonna have to abandon it, and I don't want to.
Right.
And I'm stubborn as shit, so I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it again. No, I'm gonna do it again. And my wife's like, you can't do that shit again. She's like,
See this, so that's what we talked about. I think next year you're going to be charging the appropriate price, right, Cobra?
well, we're definitely gonna have to go up on the price, and we'll see what it is. Because if I can do a 2 day event, then great. If not, we're gonna do. We'll just because this day was long. It was a long day. I thought it was pretty good. It's just we could have did some
Yeah.
events one day and other events the next day, and then we could have did it. Like I didn't get a chance to do the obstacle course that I wanted to do, and there was like a couple other
Mm.
things that I wanted to do that I didn't really get to, and I get it. 2 days after going 5 days at the Amped Electric Games, I'm like, yo, we could do this.
But
Like,
but yours, I will say, I'm not diminishing your track. Your
yep,
track is so intense, at
yeah,
least the way Rick set it up, that like after that, I don't know if you even call it half a day. I was like, dude,
wiped.
how could you do more? Very different than street riding because this
Right.
requires so much effort to get through this dirt.
Yeah, it was a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Love you, Livette. It was a
I think
lot.
she did that to hurt my ears.
I don't know why she would do that. I mean, I don't understand.
Let's go.
So, yeah, and Showtime saying prepay. Another thing that helped this year was having the website, and I'm gonna keep the
Mm.
Real Life Rally website up. And anybody wanting to get this shirt or the other shirt with all the letters on it, you can still order them. This one more said because this was made to order from Teespring, so these are easier. You just order it and they'll ship it to you. The other ones, if you order those, I'd have to get them made and have them shipped. I'm having the guy make a couple more. Speaking of that, I'm going to give a couple of shirts away today. I got a couple left that I'm going to give away. Also, what I did, I completely forgot the whole time I was there, and until the very, very end is, oh wait, no, those are mine. I had some stickers made up for me, but I also had some made up for the rally, and I completely forgot about them all the way until the end, and everybody's gone. I'm like, oh shit, there were,
Oh no.
I did have some stickers made up for the rally and completely forgot about them. So we'll give a couple of those away today as well. We're
Hey, Tarzan's here.
Tarzan. Oh, I wish I need a jungle sound. I need a Tarzan sound. I don't got one, so we're gonna give him that. What's going on, man? What did he say? I missed him. Oh, here he is. Loose and helps during the race. I think he's talking about the dirt. He must have came in right as you were talking
Yeah.
about the sand. Yeah, what's up, man? It's good to see you, Tarzan. Tarzan, in case you did not know, was the Grand Championship EUC winner at the Wheel Life Rally. That's what I'm talking about. My man Tarzan.
Repping
Let's
NYC.
go. Yo, Tarzan, he came and did the damn thing. As usual, it to see this guy, he's funny because he's never ridden this track before. Nobody that hadn't been here the last 2 years had ridden it, but he went out of his
Right.
way to get comfortable on it. And then he did so much. He's riding backwards at the end of the race.
Oh,
I'm like, no, he didn't. He turned around on his
that was
wheel and
dirty.
rode backwards right through. I was like, that was like a smack in the face to everybody. It was wild, but it was a lot of fun.
So dirty.
Oh, hold on. Jeremy said $10. OMG, I'm not coming. Yo, because legitimately, a lot of people, there was going to be a group that was going to come and show up to support. And I'm like, okay, if you're just going to watch, $10. Got upset that they were still going to have to pay the $10 and did not come. And I'm like,
See, this is
I was
people
like,
need to know.
all right, what am I supposed to do? This is like, it's not free. I'm not, I had to pay for 2 years in a row. I can't do that again. So I'm like, no, I
Right.
gotta $10 really to come
Look,
support.
look. I put it this way: little kids who do a chess tournament gotta pay
Yeah.
to enter the chess tournament. Dance tournaments, gymnastics, swim, any kind of sporting event, you got to pay to be a part of that. Yeah, there's been Disney movies about how some gymnastics team couldn't go, or some glee club couldn't go to the
Yep.
finals or championship because they couldn't afford it, right? There's countless examples. I don't know what happened where people thought that just the world was just free now and they just live in a Bernie Sanders utopia or something. But like you gotta pay for stuff.
He's
And
stupid.
I would say that this event, even though it's not my bag typically, is probably one of the best out there, and I would happily pay much more than I already paid to be a part of it. And I think that people, I've told you behind the scenes,
Yeah.
charge what
Yeah.
you need to charge,
Yeah.
and if half the people show up, great. You're still making more money than if
Yeah.
all the same amount of people came and you charged as little as you did.
So just so you guys, I mean, just so you know, and I want to give shouts out to Mickey right now because Mickey's saying that, and Mickey doesn't. He's not talking shit. Like he put his money where his mouth is because Mickey had already paid. He'd already taken part in the event, and then he gave money at the end to help support because he could see all the stuff that was being done, and he knows that things cost money. So I appreciate you, Mickey. I thank you for that because that really helped out at the end. So thank you very much. That it was necessary, and Rick, there's insurance that he has to pay to allow us to use the track for the day, and he's like, just to be here, he's like, I have to pay the insurance. He's like, right off the rip, there's no maybe no.
Right,
He's like,
right.
and it's not okay. Well, they're only in this area. It doesn't matter. He's like, no, you have to pay easily. So easily we start at 1,000 and then make our way up from adding. I'm like, yo, yeah, it's not free. Anyway, that being said, I'm gonna leave that alone. So Malcontent Youth still needs to get his shirt. That was so funny, buddy. He ordered the shirt online. I had it made for him, and then he didn't take it off the table. So people were like, "Oh, how much are the shirts?" And they bought his shirt. So now I have to have another one made so that he can get his shirt. So I already told the guy to make a couple shirts. So because all I have left is in red, and I know you wanted a black one, so he's making it now, and I'll have it in like a couple days, and then I'll send it out to you, buddy. So just I'll reach out to you or reach out to me and remind me in a couple days. As soon as I get it, I'll be looking for your address anyway. Oh, actually, I'll look online because you already ordered it online, so I'll ship it out to you as soon as I get it. That was so funny. I was like, what do you mean you didn't get your shirt? It was there. He's like, I didn't take it. I was like, oh shit, they sold it. And shouts out to my man Splice, who was helping me out with the raffle and selling
Yo,
shirts and
Splice's
stuff
son
there.
is super cute.
Yo, he's hilarious. He was cracking me up. And I didn't put this up, but thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Levette. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, so where were we? Let's see. To explain. Yeah. She said, EVX, I'm so glad you're able to explain the course. Best explanation. You have to just be there. You do. And I was trying to explain to a lot of people, and it's hard. It's, yeah, Tarzan said, New York
It's
City,
just
baby.
like being on ice.
It's
There's
crazy.
just all
It's,
the rules of the road, so to speak, that I understand as a rider
yep.
are out the window. Like I said, I just don't, still to this day, I don't understand. If you had it tomorrow and you were like, can you do better? I'd be like, oh, but maybe
Well,
that's just me. Tarzan might have a different opinion because he's the winner.
but you know what's funny though is watching like people like Sensei Vegan. He brought his RS and put it in the car and went and got his Tesla again. And I was like, what? Why? He said he did better on his Tesla with no clearance than he did on his RS. And I think it has to do with the tire. I think it's the tire that he
It
had.
like sinks in and
Yeah,
digging
I think
in.
he had a street tire on his RS and it wasn't working for him. Is Tarzan a sponsored rider? Not yet, he ain't. But he will be soon. Tarzan said he's sponsored by his bank account. He's so stupid. Oh, that's funny. Super sticker, Willie Brady. What's up, man? Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah, he said, but he's looking for sponsors. uh, T20 to sponsor you. What Tarzan? You get T20 to sponsor you. What is
That's true
that?
to one.
Oh, you so stupid. You are so stupid. Oh, yo. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate you, man. Tarzan, you so crazy. Yo. He said thanks. Spice said thanks about his son. All right, so we're gonna jump into this right about now because there's so much to talk about. There's so many wheels that we need to talk about, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't even know where to go. But what I will say, I'm
Where's
gonna put.
Law?
Yeah, Law was in surgery, by the way. He works in the hospital and he was doing surgery. So he said
Oh,
he's going to jump on as soon as he can. But he sent me a picture in his scrubs, still doing some sort of surgery. Electric Unicycle Adventures. I just wanted to say I bought an RS High Speed that was originally purchased through eWheels. I am a third owner. eWheels went well above and beyond. They sent me new batteries free of charge due to the fire. Yes, and eWheels does a great job helping out. Yeah, they do try to stand by their customers. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, on that note, I want to share something real quick. I'm going to go to my share screen here. So I finally put up my website. So I'm always trying to help people and find like different things to put people together with what they're looking for. So ThaBlackCobra.com, your positive connection to personal electric vehicles and more. So I'm going to put things here that people are always asking me about. So people ask me, where can I get wheels? So these are links to eWheels because eWheels is normally where I go through, but there are a lot of distributors that you can also go through that I have worked with. Yuko has done a great job as well. Rev Rides, Nathan, he was at the event in Arkansas as well, and Nathan did a great job. That was my first time meeting Nathan. Great guy, and he helped out a lot of people. Him and his whole crew helped out a lot
yeah,
of people.
Nathan's cool.
Yeah, a lot of people were in rough shape, like they broke their wheels or crashed their wheels or something happened and they needed a tire or something, and Nathan helped out. So shouts out to Rev Rides. I appreciate you, brother. You did a lot to help while we were there. Excuse me. Alien Rides, definitely. You guys know all the stuff that Alien Rides puts out. I love their shirts, by the way. I really want an Alien Rides, the long sleeve shirt. I keep meaning to talk to these guys and get one of those shirts. And E-Rides, of course, you guys know Afiz K. He's always, doing everything and everywhere. He has done a great job helping out, and I'm waiting to use these. I got the Wolverine pedals. You guys saw me already
They're
with
not
the.
they're not called Wolverine pedals. They're
Oh,
called
I
E-Rise
call them.
pedals.
I call them Wolverine pedals. He still called them Wolverine pedals when he sent them to me. Now he's saying E-Rides pedals, but both of those sets, those and the Iron Man pedals, both of those that he had, great pedals. Great pedals. So Clark pads, lazy rolling. I got links to that, all that stuff here. And then my link tree is there if you guys need to any of the gear that I'm wearing or you ask about, I put in there. So that's the
Get your
Black Cobra.
OnlyFans on there too.
OnlyFans coming soon to a website near you.
That's the trend, all the EUC people, right? That's what I'm told.
Yeah, not all the EUC people, just some. I don't got one. You got one, Mickey, that I don't know about?
Ain't nobody want to see that.
Give me an E, give me a V, give me an X.
Now I'm a cheerleader? Wow.
Well, you got to have something in the background, your OnlyFans. Anyway, so we're going to talk about different wheels today. We're going to start with the InMotion V13. InMotion V13. So let me ask you what you think of that, because I think we talked about it last time, because when we were on here last time, um,
Yeah.
that's one of the wheels that some people love, some people are not sure about. And right now, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about the V13.
I
What do you
think
think?
I think they, in typical fashion of all of these companies, but more in motion, you're like, oh, okay, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. Oh shit, what happened? What wait, whoa, what happened? What happened? Like the V13 when they were like 2 years ago when they were telling me all about it, the specs and stuff that I wasn't allowed to tell anybody, I was
Yep.
like, okay, okay. And then when they started to show it, and then when they dropped the specs and I saw that weight, I was like, wait, whoa, whoa, what? 130 pounds? Get out of here.
And you
That's
saw the weight,
ridiculous.
and then not just saw the weight, but then they brag about the heaviest motor. I'm like, that's not a good thing, though. Like, why are you talking about it like it's a good thing? Heavier is not better. That's not what we're looking for.
Like, I think they've effectively created like the equivalent to like a touring motorcycle, but for an EUC. So if that's your thing, if you like long distance, cross country rides, probably the V13 is for you.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
there are
mean,
guys who don't do that who will like it, but
yeah.
eh, it's a hard one for me personally to get behind.
But this is hard to refute. I mean, just this alone. Remember when they dropped this and they had us all like, wow, because of this right here. Crazy. That's crazy. That seems nuts that a wheel can go that fast and do that much. It just seems crazy.
Yeah, but they're limiting the top speed though, like of a human on it. So, and I think the reason, since you were asking what I think about the wheel, the reason that they are limiting the top speed lower than we all assumed it would be is because um, in physics, there are diminishing returns and there's pushes and pulls on inertia and to dumb it down, because I'm not a physics major, effectively, I think when you get too heavy, that's
Hmm.
why you have to have the world's biggest motor, why you have to have more battery. So it's like they're compounding on these problems. So this is why. So if it's too heavy, you can't just put any old motor on it. It won't be able to do what it needs to do. So when you get to a certain weight, whatever that weight is, you need a bigger motor. And then because of that, you need a bigger battery. So now the weight just jumped up even further. So I think this is the problem of that all companies would run into when
Yeah.
trying to push the limit eventually.
Well, I mean, no matter what, we had a feeling. And Tarzan is saying the test was bullshit because it was on a stand, and then grill piece is saying that's without a tire. I don't think that's the case, but that's funny.
It wouldn't make a difference anyways.
So I mean, I understand that making the fastest because everybody wants to, and everybody's looking to
Right.
see who can have the fastest wheel possible. And at 88 miles an hour, that is right now still the champion. No one has topped that. But again, that's the free spin. That's without
Yeah, yeah.
someone on it and without the limitations that they put on it. And they're clearly
Aren't
saying that
they?
they're going to put limitations on it.
Didn't they say they're only? You tell us in the comments. I think they said it could only do 60
Well, they were going
at
to
top.
they were trying to limit it to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
And
actually
a lot of
I
people
thought I
told
heard
him
they were
that.
trying to limit it to 55 or something ridiculous. And you're like, well,
Oh, right.
if it goes 88, I think you're doing a really bad job if you bring it all the way back down to 55. I mean, that's
Yeah, but like I said, that if I was Roger is probably more the expert on this than I am, maybe. But yeah, if I was an engineer, I would probably be able to explain why. But I have a feeling it's they have to because of all that weight. It has to do more at that top end exponentially
yeah.
than any other wheel.
Well, Tarzan said that was a battery less test. He said it was plugged in. I, I don't think that. I think honestly, guys, I think that's an accurate test. I think that was a pickup free spin test because I could have swore I saw them do it again somewhere, but maybe I'm wrong. Wheelie Brady said I think 55 is good, but then what happens? I face plant at 56. That hurts. I hope you're all right if you really did, but. Um, so there's a lot going on here, but let's talk about this. Okay, so the Emotion V13 because I it's 126 volts, which some of the wheels are surprising me at the voltages, but it's 126 volts, 3020 watt hour. The
Hmm.
motor is a 4500 watt hour, and the tire size is a 22 inch. It's got an 88 mile per hour free spin, and it's listed at $3,999. So, ouch, yes, wow, ouch, yes, wow, in all that order. But there's a lot to unpack there. It's gonna be the heaviest, um, other than the Master Pro. Um, it's not the most expensive because several of the wheels are over 4,000. But
Mm.
they're all around 4,000. It seems like that's for the bigger wheels. That seems to be the price that they were going. Remember when it used to be like 1850, 1999, and 2000? Oh my God, 2000. Oh my God. Now we're
I think the 16X surprised me when it came out. Back then I was like, ooh, it was like 22 maybe or something.
yeah. You're like,
And
oh my
and
God, that's
I
a
was like,
lot.
oh,
I said the same thing. I bought it. I was like, ah man, and then, and now the wheels just climbed and climbed and climbed and
they caught on, man. Like I said, nobody in this community, except for like a few choice people, stops buying the wheels. Like when they come out with a bad wheel, everyone still buys it, and you're like, why would they stop charging you, and why would they stop making crappy wheels? You all just buy them.
yeah. Well,
Like, why would they put a cap on the price because they make it more expensive? You all still buy them either way, because they know you want them.
Real Talk says, is it true the V13 doesn't cut off? What do you mean? There's always a way to cut out a wheel.
Yeah,
These they're machines, so if you push it too hard, it's gonna cut off. I don't care which machine it is. So that's not possible. It will cut out. Yes. um, 56 miles per hour is the limit, or 90 kilometers per hour from Emotion in that chat during the reveal stream. See, that's I know it was I thought it was
right.
55, but
56. Yeah.
56 is close enough. Hold on 1 second. I just got a message. Let's see what he's saying. Okay, so Law's done with his surgery. He's on the way home, so he should be on in a little bit. Um, what's the burn in rate on those batteries? Good question. That I don't know. Let me
Yeah.
see.
It's also like, that's a lot of battery. How much did you say it was again?
For
Battery
the
wise?
battery, it's 3020 for the watt hours on the battery,
I
and the
remember when
motor.
2200, remember when 2200 watt hours was like a hack people did? Like
Yep,
VT
to
was like,
get
look at
it.
my 2200 watt hour MSX. And we were like, whoa.
2200 watts,
Yeah.
and now there's
3200
like
is a lot of power to catch fire too.
yeah, and but the thing about this one is they're saying it's the heaviest, but it's the largest motor, other than the Master Pro. Um, it is a 4500 watt motor. That's a lot of power. a lot of power.
Well, it's potential power, right? I don't
Right,
know that it's not. It's
but
not
that's why I'm
like,
saying it's a lot of power. I didn't say speed. A
yeah.
lot of power. That motor can produce a lot, but that's depending on the software.
Isn't it also like a high torque motor too?
I believe so. And I think
It
that
better
one was
be. It needs it, right? It's so
yeah.
heavy.
Well, yeah, but not really because it's 126 volts, although it should be 134, but it's 126 volts, which gives it, you're not as worried like when the voltage is low and the
Mm,
wattage on the battery is high and it's got to push much more. But when you have, at least when you have a high the high voltage and a high motor, and I mean at least you got more. It's like I feel like it's equal. I feel like when they make it lopsided is when we have trouble. When they don't give it enough voltage and then they give away too much battery, and then way too much amperage on the motor, and then it's like it just doesn't seem to work out, and something goes wrong. I feel
yeah,
like if you raise the motor, you got to raise the voltage. It's like,
right.
and they don't always do that. They do half measures, and you're like, oh, I don't know. Um, so I know I'm missing a lot, guys. I'm just gonna scroll down. Magnetless motors around the corner, bringing weight and cost down. Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope that's one of the things. That's Patrick saying that. I hope so. Um, Francisco said, "Begode Gotway is my drug of choice." You're not alone, obviously, dude. You're not alone. Um, Roger says the S22 beeps quiet. I don't even remember how loud the beeps were on that thing. Um, but I know that there's been more problems with the S22 than I thought there was gonna be.
Oh, tons.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised, but but they're machines, so I don't know. So all right, we're gonna move on. So there's a couple more comments here, but the next one everybody was talking about the EX30, the EX30. Now this thing is
Right.
a beast. I posted a TikTok about it because I was like, yo, I was loving it.
Oh,
Oh,
TikTok.
and I was gonna pull it up, but I keep forgetting. I'm not supposed to pull up those on YouTube because you get a copyright strike. So, so because
By putting a TikTok thing on
yeah,
YouTube?
because TikTok and Instagram they use popular music. Well, they are licensed to use that
Oh,
popular music. But if you pull it up
can you just mute
on
it?
your YouTube channel, you don't have a
Right.
license to use that. So
Just mute it. Can you mute it?
I can, yeah, but it's not as fun.
Just, let's just see the visual though. Let's see
Okay, we'll
the
pull it up.
visual.
We'll pull it up right now. So going through this is the EX30. Now that is a 134 volt wheel. It's it looks like has a couple of choices: 2880 or 3600 on the watt hours. You can choose which one you want. This is on e-wheels, and then it's got a 4,000 watt motor. It's only a 20-inch wheel, and it's got a free spin of
Hmm.
75 miles per hour. And it's listed at 41.99. Like I said, all of these wheels seem to be around that price. It's like that's what they're aiming for is to keep us around 4,000, which hurts. I'm gonna be real because that's a lot of money.
Dude, how much can you buy one of those three-wheeled things that Deshaun has? You know
which
the
thing?
three-wheeled motorcycle looking things?
The the quad? No, what was he riding?
What do they call it? What do they call those things?
Oh, what was
I
he
always
riding?
keep
I don't remember what it was he was riding. I know he was just riding something.
you know it's got two wheels in the front, one in the back, and a lot of like Harley type people tend to
Oh
ride them
yeah, yeah,
around.
yeah. A slingshot. A
Slingshot. How
slingshot.
much
That's
is
what he was
that?
riding.
What's the cheapest slingshot you got? I mean, it's got to be like 4 or 5 thousand.
Yeah. Hold on. Let
You
me.
buy a slingshot, you can take your wife with you.
All right. So we don't have any audio here. I'm gonna leave it that way. But here, this is what I was talking about, people. In case you didn't see the EX30, because it's got a lot going on. The EX30 is pretty dope. It looks amazing. Look at the tail light on it. The tail light is like one of the best tail lights I've seen because it's a solid big light going across the back. I keep seeing like these little flimsy little things, and I'm like, if that's the only thing that you're being seen by, they need to make it bigger, even bigger than that. It should be twice the size of that, I think.
I
Um,
think it's just the height too. Like you just got to put a light on your back because it's too low. for
Yeah,
a
well,
car to see you.
that's true too. But you guys see, like I said, the EX30 here has 134 volts, two different battery sizes, 4,000 watt motor, 20-inch tires, 75 miles per hour, free spin. She's riding it like nothing. She's controlling it like nothing. So I don't think it's too ridiculously heavy, because she's
I would
tiny as a
disagree.
beanpole.
I
So
think
I don't
she's
know.
riding it pretty up and down. I think it's hard to tell. Like, look at her. She's not really like when she's turning, she's still standing upright, which tells me it's impossible to know.
Well, it's impossible to know. Period. Oh, actually, let me see. What is it listed at? Let's see. Um, let's see, because I don't remember if it's here. I'm gonna go back to the share screen. I don't remember if it said the weight right off the top. But let's go to the website here. We'll click on this. We'll go to eWheels and check exactly. Let's see. Does it say the weight? Because I don't remember how much it weighs. Um, no, 75.8. Let's see. And right here. No, I don't see a weight on it, but I'm assuming. And look at, oh, the MOSFETs. That was the other thing. All new controller design containing 36 TO263 MOSFETs. I don't know what those are, but I know there's 36 of them, which is a lot. Remember when we were like, yo, it's only got four MOSFETs?
Usually, Jason, when he lists stuff like that, will sometimes lower down explain why that is important. Not
Yeah.
always, but sometimes he does.
Look
He
at the
does that on his
tire,
site.
and you can. I think this one is the same. No, he doesn't have it on there, for this. But I love the pictures. I love the look of this wheel. The only thing I don't love is the fact that, like usual, it has these great pads on it, right? Or color on it, not pads, but color. And then you're gonna change the pads because they never get it like right, because it's hard to make it universal. Um,
Yeah.
so you're like, okay, just give me an option, because I like the way the pads look, but I know I'm not going to keep those on there. I know I'm going to end up going with another option, because I always do. Um,
hmm
what did he say? Electrocycle said 40,000 new. I'm over 50 grand in mine, but had it since 2015. Oh, he's talking about his slingshot, because Electrocycle has a slingshot.
Wait, is
Um,
that Jeremy?
yeah, Jeremy says he has a 40,000. That's how much his was new, but he put 50 grand into his because he did all kinds of
Still,
modifications.
I'd rather pay for a $40,000 slingshot that I could fill up and take a passenger than a $4,000 wheel.
Well, you could actually you could have rolled your slingshot all the way down here.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't have a garage, so that would be problematic. It'd
Yeah.
be stolen in a second here.
Bunny Slipper says I need a master with 100 millimeters of suspension. Yeah. Well, I was talking, to a couple of people about that. I don't know that more travel on the suspension is necessarily what we need. Um,
Mm-mm.
I
Because
think
it
you need.
always just makes it higher too.
Yeah. Here, let me bring you back in, Nikki. We're still on that share
They
screen.
haven't figured out a way to make it more travel and not be higher. None of the
Yeah.
companies have figured this out yet.
Yeah, and if you look, now that's the EX30 that we're talking about now. That is, um, that's it. I think it's going to be an amazing wheel, but I'm always optimistic. And we're looking at the travel, and I think it's going to be good, not because it has more travel. I think because better suspension. And the reason I
Mm.
say that is the T4 and the Master Pro already are known to have a better suspension than the Master, because the Master was the first iteration of that suspension. I don't think they did as good of a job. I have one, and it tops out
Yeah.
no matter where I turn it, I can turn it to absorb the bottom. So I'm like, ooh, that feels cushy. But when it comes back up, dink, like I feel like a weird. It
Uh,
tops out. It tops out, and I can't change that. I'm trying to fix it so I don't feel that at the top. I want cushion down, cushion up. I don't
and I
want.
weigh a lot less than you, and same thing happens to me.
Yeah. And I was like, it's not, it's very beneficial when it comes to most things, but you have to be like, you have to be cognizant of it, because like on the Thunderdome at Amped Electric Games, I posted a reel of me going down that, and wow, I was like, yo, this is crazy because I was hitting jumps, cornering, hitting, but every time I hit a jump and came back up, it's like boom, boom, that top out. So what I was getting at is the suspension has already gotten better, and they didn't. It's not that they increased the travel; they just put a better suspension. The mechanism and the shock between the two, you start figuring out what works. The T4 has a better suspension than the Master. I rode the T4 and it wasn't topping out like the Master does. And the Master Pro, from what I understand, people who have ridden it said the same thing. So I think it's just better suspension, not necessarily more travel that we need. So it depends, you know. And Showtime
Sure
said
enough.
that's the tire from the EXN on the yeah, she's actually right. I didn't even notice that, Showtime. That is the same tire she has on her EXN. Um, and Jeremy said the tire I got on the Master ride's good. Yeah, but you changed it. He finally listened and changed his tire to a knobby because he had that original knobby that came on it. That's not it. Another lesson that they learned, I think. I hope going forward they're not going to send those damn wheels out with that whatever tire. What was the one that was on there, Mickey? You remember?
I don't even know the name of it, but it
Chow
was
Young something, I
trash.
think. Uh,
It's not, but here's the thing though, real quick on that. It's not necessarily the manufacturer
mm-hmm.
because they make all different types. So it's not like Chow Yang or CST or whatever
Right,
just make
it's
crap.
CST, but it's a certain tire.
But yeah, CST does have a record of making quite a few bad ones, but we've only experienced a few. They might make a good one, but they just haven't put it on yet. So don't think it's like a single manufacturer makes trash. It's just like we
Right.
all kind of figure out over time which specific models are
Yeah.
preferred and which ones aren't.
Right. When I say that, and I want people, I'm glad you made a clarification there. When I say that tire's trash, I mean that tire, because
Right.
that company makes other tires, and I have people have told me they liked some of their tires, but I know that particular tire I can say is trash because I've ridden it more than once.
Mm,
I rode it on the Master. I rode it on the EX20S, and I hated it on both. So I know when I say that tire, I hate that tire and I think it's trash, it's because that's legitimately how I feel. And it's not just one. Oh, this one time I rode some guy. No, every time because it's got the square, flat
yeah.
profile, and it just flops over and scares the shit out of you.
Also, side note, I'm just noticing your title for this stream
Oh.
says Wheel Talk with Lax and EVX.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Fat fingers typing fast.
Laxative and EVX.
Oh, that's so funny. And what's craziest about that is that that's from a whole nother site where the title is put up from. So that would have to, I'd have to go completely to another page to do that. But we're going to move on to the M10-4. Arguably one of the most exciting wheels for a lot of people, and for various reasons. And it's weird because I see that look on your face, Mickey. I don't think that it's exciting for you.
So it's not what you think. It's that at the end of the day, like the V13, I've heard from others that they've done a lot of things right on that wheel,
Mm-hmm.
and then a few things not so right. But it's, it's still an M10, so it's meant to be a more fun, messing around kind of wheel. It's not anything more than that. And if you're particularly heavy, it's probably not going to be all that much better for you, just marginally better.
Yeah. Well, better, you mean talk better than the M10-3 as opposed to the M10-4?
Yes. Hmm.
Well, that I get. Um, and a guy like me being heavy, I'm thinking, hey, I oh, hold on. I think I'm getting a jingle.
Is Lax here? Is Lax here?
I, I think I'm getting a jingle. I think, hold on a second. Let me see. Let me check my guest room because I think I'm getting a jingle from the one and only. It's Lax.
This guy. Hello, hello.
What's up, man?
I'm sorry. Took
He
so
was doing
long, man.
surgery, huh?
Yeah, we did a couple total knees, and then we did a or was it a shoulder rotator cuff repair, just like your shoulder, buddy.
Oh yeah, man. So I hope you weren't doing surgery with a chainsaw.
No chainsaws. Yeah.
That's
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Beautiful.
your picture's a little grainy though. I'm
It's
not
a
I'm not sure.
garbage camera, but let me see
Okay,
if I
there you
can
go.
let me see if I can up the lighting.
Yeah, that'll probably help. There you go. Now,
Is
now
it
let
still trash? Maybe
yeah,
it's
it's
yeah.
very pixelated, but let's see if it
Yeah.
comes in a little bit better.
Right.
Well, let's have Law tell us what he thinks about the M10-4 because I think
Yeah.
he has actual experience in it.
The
Yes, he does have
M10-4.
actual experience. We
Am
were
I allowed
just
to use profanity?
Yes, you can.
The M10-4 fucks. In a, I love the thing. I mean, so it has the same motor as the M10 III, but it's oriented different. Where so rather than the, I mean, I'm still pixelated probably to you guys, but
Yeah.
rather than the the flat points of the motor being like this way, it's now like vertical rather than horizontal. So then all the downwards impact is giving you like a little bit extra beef on that axle. This is all
Uh-huh.
theoretic, but on top of that, the along with that, you have the aluminum casing of the whole casing. Really, that thing is definitely making the whole motor more like, or reducing the potential flex on it. Because the reason I think a lot of people are like snapping their motor axles is because it's only the hangers that's holding the wheel together.
Uh-huh.
If that,
Hmm.
yeah. So having motor casing on top of the hangers that would potentially keep it from bending, so that it's going to take way more force to be able to snap that axle.
I got you. I got you. So I put
Yeah.
I put it up on screen here, guys, so you guys can see a little bit.
I ended up posting. I posted a little picture of the actual axle the other day.
Oh, did you? Where'd you post
Yeah,
it?
on Instagram. It was on
Okay.
Instagram.
All right, hang on. I can grab that on
Yeah.
Instagram. Let me go back here. And then oh no, Mickey's gone and I meant this one. Let me take this out
Yeah.
for a sec. And then I'm gonna look for your post real quick because I know what you I think I know what you're talking about because the axle's flat on one side and rounded on the other
Yeah.
side. And I heard you talking about it, but I wasn't sure um,
Yeah.
if you got a photo. Let me see.
Right.
Did you post it on your
Somewhere in
stories
the
or on
mix.
your?
It was a picture, just a simple picture. I could
Okay,
share
I
it.
got you. I got it here.
Yeah, I've got it
Let me
here
see.
also. Um, Here, if I share screen, there, that one, that right there.
Oh, okay, you just sent it to me, sharing screen, and I think I can assign that to three. And then if I go to this, okay, yeah, I was just looking at
Okay, yeah.
that.
So,
Yeah.
so over here, you see how like how it's flat on these sides. You end up having potential extra beef right here. So it's a whole bunch of theory. But again, having this having this casing along with the hang like holding you up, it's gonna be more robust for sure.
Gotcha. Well, how do
Yeah.
you like the wheel? Like I saw
The
you
way the
riding
way it
it, and I
handles the aesthetic, what exactly
yeah, like
are we
all of
talking
it.
about?
Like I saw you riding it, and you seemed a little excited when you were riding it. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's loving that wheel.
Yeah,
Um,
it's nimble, it's peppy. For a lot of people, they're gonna end up feeling like, or how to, a lot of people are gonna think the algorithm on it is weird as far as the sensitivity goes. Uh, what I've been noticing is it has like kind of normal pedal dip as any other Gotway, or
hmm
like yeah, pretty much same as any other Gotway. But then the pedal, like the return of it, to be able to snap back up, uh, seems to be coming back faster, like a little bit closer, like a King Song or In Motion. So
hmm
at least the first, I'm talking about like the first firmware that it came with.
Right.
So it
So
doesn't exactly, it's not even with each other, but it comes back pretty quick.
But you're talking about if you push it to its limits, and then
Not
it
necessarily
gets.
to its limits. So like if you're making a tight circle and
Mm-hmm.
if you're applying pressure on it, it'll feel hard. But then on if you reduce pressure, it's gonna feel like
Coming
or no,
out.
it'll feel like soft mode when you're applying pressure on the but then when you let the pressure go, it kind of snaps back quicker. If
Gotcha.
that makes sense. Yeah. So I
Okay.
personally like that, but it's gonna be goofy for a lot of other people that are playing with it for the first time.
So somebody just said the M10-4 suspension would be cool.
Oh yeah, right. If if they added suspension on that thing, that'd be kind of
It'd be
nuts.
like as high as a what's the T4? Yeah, the
Yeah,
T4. It'd be
it
that
would be
Yo,
the
big.
same. It would be
Mickey,
doubling the
yo,
weight for sure.
Mickey, the look on your face is just hilarious. You're like, like
Well, because it's like the meme of the century is ever since we people got the idea about suspension, they were like, "Oh, we'll just put it on everything."
Yeah, exactly.
but I
Yeah, there's
like
definitely
it though.
suspension.
But I like it. The suspension. I call it the suspension. The suspension revolution. That's what it is right now. Um, but what we didn't talk about, and we got to throw this in here real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna throw it in here real quick. Is the fact that hold on, does that take? No, it takes them all out. Oh, that's what it was. No, look at that. That's so weird. Anyway, the
What are you looking at?
the T4 or the M10-4 rather, it's an 84 volt, 600 watt hour,
Yeah.
Hmm.
1000 watt motor.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me about the tire size. It's an 11-inch tire. So it's
Uh,
it's it's got a free spin of 35 miles per hour, but what's the reality? Like how
Reality is you're gonna get similar to M10 3 speeds from what I'm noticing.
so like 22, 23 miles an
Around,
hour.
I've had a buddy cruise it freaking 25.
Yeah.
It was beeping like a mother, but
Yeah,
at
that's
the same
scary.
time, it'll do it.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna tell you it's
Interesting.
scary because I had it up to that speed. Um, on the M10-3, I had it up to 20 miles an hour, 22 miles an hour, I think is what I got up to. That's where I set it.
yeah,
And I was like, shit, I thought it only goes 20. And I'm like, beep, 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 beep.
yeah.
uh,
But
but
the way it handles is great. The torque is there, as far as like compared to the M10 3.
mhm,
So we ended up taking like by Yuko in or Yuko out here in Vegas. They have like a little kind of single track like bike trail,
mhm.
and then we took it out on there, and the way that it is able to generate more power than the regular M10 3, it's a beautiful feeling. Just
Okay.
knowing that it's still underneath you.
So it does feel if, and that's what my next question was going to be comparatively with the M10-3. You
Yeah,
would say torque is definitely more,
torque is more in my opinion.
and does it feel more powerful? Like I know
Yeah,
torque doesn't necessarily mean that it feels more powerful,
right.
and you're still saying you're only going to get about the same speed out of it. So I guess the question is, if I had an M10-3, should I upgrade to an M10-4?
Yeah,
How
so
about
the
that?
firmware. Oh, easily. That's not even a question.
Okay.
Definitely, anybody who's willing to drop the cash to get an M10 4, do it. Because the M10 3, I'm sure everybody's riding them, and then if you ever try riding one leg, you end up pressing against it, and it just feels like shit when you have the tire rubbing up against the body. Um,
But
that makes a huge factor.
on this, it's not like that.
On this, it's a good time. It's not rubbing against the tire. Maybe for you,
Yeah.
but for me being like 200 pounds, I'm not getting that same tire
Damn,
rubbing.
damn law. What you trying to say, bro?
I'm
Well,
saying that
he's saying I'm
he's got
heavier than him.
muscles. Erwin's
I know.
got the gains.
Look, I know what he was saying, Mickey, smart ass.
Also, the
Believe it.
headlight. The
Yes,
headlight is fucking
headlight.
magic.
Yeah.
In relation to the M10 3 is just a tiny LED. It's like a cell phone light, if that.
Right.
But the
Right. Yeah.
M10 4's headlight it's impressive.
So that
Do us a
headlight
favor.
is as good as it looks.
Yeah, I worry about destroying it though. That's the only thing. But I mean, you add a little grill in front of it. It kind of look cool, but it would make it
There you
more
go.
robust for sure on impact.
Do us a favor and bring up a picture of the minions. I think it would be important to see them side by side.
Yeah. Well,
I was thinking more Wally
Yeah. Well,
when I first
no,
looked at the wheel.
claptrap. Claptrap from Borderlands. That's what it looks
Yeah,
more like. More like Claptrap, I think. Um,
I can
somebody
see that
did.
too.
I think they did that already. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up.
He looks like a minion with like the hard hat on with the light.
Oh, okay. I know which guy you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it looked like Claptrap to me, but I know what he's saying. The minion with this one.
Yeah.
That's the.
He's a minion.
Yeah, that was the. Oh, I forgot his name, but there he goes.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing
Dude,
the.
it's a minion.
That's Bob.
I'm looking forward to seeing people 3D print new pads for it.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Like
Yeah,
like
Bob.
Dude, you
like
found it
usual.
right there. You found a minion that looks like Shrek. How funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that that's possible. So
It
so
might be so. It might be a good polo wheel too.
oh,
Polo wheel,
actually,
I think it'll do well.
like you were playing polo while we were there in Arkansas.
Hmm.
Had you done that before, Law?
Yeah, I came through a couple of times.
Okay, okay. Oh yeah, in
They
New
He
just
York.
came
showed
to New
me the
York. We
ropes.
showed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. So the other one, let's see. Now we got to look at. So let's move it on. Master Pro, the Master Pro. Now that to me is something that I'm all in for. Obviously, it's not for a lot of people. It's
Mhm.
not for everybody. It's 45.99. So not
What's the
everybody is
weight
gonna
on
be.
that guy?
Yeah, the weight on that guy is I think it's 124
So much.
pounds. Yeah, I think it was 124 pounds the last time I checked. But this one is 134 volt, 4,800 watt hour, unless you get the Master X, which is a 3,600 watt hour. They're both 4,500 watts on the motor, 22-inch tires, which people were worried about because they went down from the 24-inch down to the 22-inch. And they have a 75 mile per hour lift speed, listed at $4,599 for the Master Pro and $4,199 for the Master X. What do you guys think of that? Mickey, what's your
Uh,
thoughts?
So, so the lift speed is lower than the V13, but
Mm-hmm.
knowing Gotway, they'll probably set the actual top speed limit higher than the V13. So it's 75. So let's
Mm-hmm.
say 70, 65. So they'll probably, if they did 60 already, they'd beat the V13.
Yeah, and
So I
that's
think
what they're
that
gonna
might be
that's
the
what they're gonna
case.
aim for. That's what they're gonna aim for because they don't want to let anyone beat them. So
yeah,
Yeah.
as soon as they put their target up, then
yeah,
Conway's just going to easily snipe it.
that's what they do. They wait. They're like, oh, what did they
Uh,
say? Okay, hang on.
uh,
Like,
Which brings up a whole other conundrum of like, if it's that easy to just like take a jab at your opponent via top speed, why didn't you just already do that already? Right?
um,
Like it's like you physics doesn't work that way. You can't just be like, fine, 85 miles an hour. Like, like what is the actual safest top speed, guys?
safest depends on who's riding the wheel.
yeah, it depends on who's on the wheel, but
That's
I
very
guess
fair.
What do you think, Law?
how fast would you guys want to go without suspension? If we took away suspension, how fast is your top speed?
Whoa,
Not even thinking, like,
whoa! Without
because
suspension?
you got speed bumps, you got all types of that
Well,
bullshit
look,
going on.
well, I'm talking
I
shit because the Monster Pro doesn't have suspension, and I've
Right.
been, I've traveled at 50 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and been
I think
scared.
if I'm
Yeah.
honest, I think 56 where the V13 is set, I probably wouldn't
Mhm.
need to go beyond that. If I could do 56 and know that there's a giant leeway between that and failure, and I knew
Hmm.
like I
Mhm.
could actually do 56, I think I'd be okay with that. At a certain point, wind resistance becomes a thing, and it's like it's going to be incredibly difficult. I'm not the guy who wants to go 60, 70, 80. Like there was a
Right,
time
right.
where I felt like that, but not anymore. I don't. But yeah, like wind is gonna be a thing. You're gonna just be like fighting the wind, like like you're like
Yeah.
a spaceship coming into orbit.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I've played in the 50 mile per hour range on the EXN, and then it's doable.
Hmm.
But then again, not all roads are the same. Out here, then I'm sure like 60 would be pretty friendly, but out as far as like any other area with anything remotely close to a pothole, then you'll be shitting yourself. Even a
Yeah,
tiny bump.
that or like a big crosswind, because in the winter it gets windy
Yeah.
here. So
Hmm.
if you just had a crosswind from something at that speed, just you're a sail.
What do you guys do in your crosswinds?
You
Pray.
just you just pucker your butt and hold on tight.
No, look, I was riding. I was just riding a little bit with Showtime before the show today. A few hours ago,
Mhm.
we were riding, and we just went for a quick ride to get something to eat. While we were riding, though, I was like realizing what a big difference suspension makes. Realizing that I was riding my Monster Pro a lot, and now I ride the Master a lot, and I'm realizing I don't want to wheel without suspension. Like legitimately, we went over like several different terrains, and to me, I'm not even thinking about it, and then I look back, she's like, ow, 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 because well, she also has a hurt ankle, so that made it
Mhm.
worse. But even still, she's riding the EXN, and she's like, yo, you don't feel none of these bumps, but I feel them all. I'm like,
Mm.
I'm like, legitimately, I understand, and I no longer want to wheel without suspension. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
So that's just it. What about you, Law?
I
What's your comfort zone for speed?
I don't know. It depends on where I'm at. Like again, Vegas, I feel like 55, 60 would be okay. As far as non-suspension, but suspension, I think I'd still cap myself around 60,
Mm-hmm.
around that. I mean, if I'm wearing full leathers and doing whatever insert racing gear and knowing that I'm not gonna die, then yeah, I'll try higher speeds. But it sounds extremely sketchy when it comes to giving this much power to the average riders, because it's almost guaranteed nobody's gonna know how to deal with wobbles at that speed.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's part of the problem. It's like, really, dude, like you're having trouble. Like you watch some of these videos where a little wobble and whoa whoa whoa, and you're
Hmm.
like, imagine if you were doing 60 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Like,
because it gets scary. Because
yes,
when you see everybody using their brake pads like to their like fullest potential, they end up putting their legs too far back, and then you end up seeing them wobble. Like at Amped Electric Games, there everybody was wobbling like a motherfucker on the drag race because
yes,
at the end of the strip, you didn't really have that much leeway. So then you had to really power through the brake, and
yeah,
then yeah, as soon as you say like here's like midline of the wheel, and then there's like the front and back, uh, you'd see people's legs drift from that center point and back, and then you'd see the wheel wobble all like crazy, and then it was scary for a lot of people.
I also saw
Yeah.
a lot of the masters because they have that higher center of gravity, and I felt like I was like, was it now? You just I'm glad you just mentioned that because I was thinking like it was more. I was like, is it me or are they wobbling a lot? Like everybody on a master's
Yeah,
wobbling,
yeah,
and
it's leg positioning, irrelevant to just like the height of the wheel. I mean,
okay,
having a lower wheel helps as far as like getting that little bit of extra stability for reducing wobble, but it's the whole leg positioning because the master, most people don't have uh, like a secondary set of pads on it to be able to keep their legs like in front on the forward side of the wheel. So
yeah.
then doing that, they end up shaking and doing all the extra
Yeah.
when they're trying to pull back on the pads.
So
That's like
what?
you guys have seen on my Sherman. I keep my front and back pad really spaced out
Yeah.
as far as I can go because I don't use them except for when I need to lean hard back into them for a hard break, or and then
Mhm.
I don't use it to accelerate either. It's just there in case I hit a bump and I don't want to fall off the front, so they're there in case I go too far and it catches me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I brake, I don't touch the brake pads at all. It's really just using the friction from like that rubber DKL grip that I'm using. You seen those?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
just being able to grip the wheel at that point and knowing that my legs aren't going to slip back further, that's enough for me to not have to cry.
Well, I can tell you I've experienced different wheels, and not all wheels are the same, and you got to realize what you're riding, and you really got to know your wheel, because when I was riding the V12 for a short period of time, that wheel is off balance a little. So once I rode it a little bit more, I'm like, oh, I got it. But at first I tried to stop. I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, like I
Yeah.
really felt like I could have fallen, and I was like, this is dangerous. And
Yeah.
it took me a little bit of riding it, a few days, and I'm like, okay, I got it now. Whereas most of the time, I don't feel that way on most of my wheels. They, like, when they're completely centrally balanced, even the master, since even though it's high, when you go to stop, you start learning what it is you need from that wheel. Some
Yeah.
wheels you have to stop harder. Some wheels you can just ease into. Some wheels you better slam on the brakes.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I've,
Like with the V12, it's for what I noticed, for
yep,
like a lot of newer riders that got on it was because it's so tall, up against your leg, the extra foam pads pushing your legs out that induced a lot of extra wobble. So what I
yep,
did was I took the regular like EVA, like the puzzle mat, and then I would space it out for people to keep their feet against. Because the only
yeah.
time that people didn't wobble was when their feet were farther away from the wheel. So then if you at least create the shim to reduce that, it's a whole triangulated stance bringing that shit back. But it's wheel shapes are stupid right now, and it's definitely something that could be addressed.
Yeah,
Well,
they need to be like our legs.
Yeah,
right. Well, I know that I don't think they ever take that into account, and I think
they don't.
the pads that they're coming out with are so weird. The Begode pads, and
Yeah,
it seems like, okay, oh, this one is gonna be the one. Oh, this one's gonna be the one, because, oh, look, now it has a cutout, so
right.
where you can, and you're like,
Yeah, the
every time I
engineers
get on,
have
I'm like, no, no,
mhm.
no,
The
like,
engineers have no idea.
yeah,
It's
I'm
the
like,
when it was funny when I was talking to Jack, Electric Dreams, when
yeah,
we were at Amped Electric Games.
Hmm.
Nathan Post from Rev Rides and I, we were just talking about the King song with him. Uh, it didn't come into
oh,
oh
go ahead, I'm
god
sorry.
audio. Sorry. Yeah, when I was talking to Jack,
Yeah,
he didn't think about the whole like triangulated stance thing. So then it how to explain it? We Nathan and I both brought up how tall and chunky the wheel is
right.
on the upper portion of the S20, and then yeah, he didn't even think about that, and then just knowing that he wasn't thinking about it, chances are none of the
Nobody
other
else was.
engineers are even having any glimpse of what needs to happen.
Well, so what did you think? So you thought that it should have been the opposite way, or how do you think it should be designed? Like,
Yeah.
because I don't think
As
I
far
don't
as the
think people
batteries
are.
go,
Yeah,
so the batteries. So with the S20, I think the batteries should be a little bit lower. Like rather than making it just a tall box, they should make it a little bit wider, more square rather than rectangular. And then in doing so, you're still going to have some clearance for from side to side or front to back, but at the
right.
same time, you'd be able to keep your legs more in and not have to use as much muscle to pull your legs out and use wobble and like, destroy everyone's shins. Because if you look
Mickey
at
has a
people's wheels,
graphic.
there you go. Yes, Mickey's picture is exactly what we need.
Well drawn, Mickey. Well
Because again, with
drawn.
that, if you look at the flat panels of the foam
It took
pads,
me a
say
while.
even
I
like the
hope you appreciate
master,
it.
it's beautiful. Vic. Yeah, if you look at the contact on any like worn pads, like stock pads, you'll see people like
I'm
wearing
just
down
gonna
that
hold
top
it here
edge.
until.
But pretty much what should be happening is your whole leg should be having an even contact patch on the whole surface of that foam,
Right.
um, which
Doesn't
all you have
happen.
to do is it doesn't happen. So I was thinking about getting with Nick from Yuko and just working on it was literally just making a little wedge to pretty much angle out the foam pads on the
Oh,
side.
we lost you, Mickey.
Oh, where is
Mickey, you still there?
he? Mickey.
I think he.
I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Someone just called me. That's all.
Oh, I was like, uh oh, something happened.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
do probably have to go in a second here though.
Okay.
Okay,
But
for sure.
continue, Law.
Yeah.
So
So having a little shim, just like a little triangular prism to
yeah,
space out that box of a wheel, that would make a world of difference for not destroying everybody's shins as fast.
yeah, that would help.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that ask me, what is the best pad? I'm like, well, honestly, to me, I think the best pad is the pad that works for you. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
it's hard for me to say what pad is the best, but I mean, I know what I like, and
yeah.
so let me see. I'm gonna pull up a quick video here, the Sherman S here, and we're gonna
Mm.
talk about that one next. The Sherman S. Look at he's
Yeah,
flying
kill
through the
that crazy
air.
audio.
Yeah, you can't hear that, can you? No. Okay.
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay, good. You can see him trying to get up the hill. This is one of the later ones because they've been coming out with progressively more videos. One thing I noticed, look, there's not a whole lot of travel,
Yeah.
even though it's the
No.
same. But it looks like the wheel moved more that time. There you go. But like right here, normally when you look at this wheel, it looks like it's not traveling much.
Maybe the PSI is low.
That's okay.
No, that's a good
Like I
thing.
said,
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good
if
thing.
they make it too much, if it travels too much, the wheels become incredibly high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like somebody was asking about that in the chat, and they were talking about, I want more travel, and I'm like, I don't think you do. I just think you want a better suspension. You want it to absorb the and absorb the impact and keep the wheel on the ground. So
Yeah.
you don't want more travel. You just want more absorption. So I'm like, however they
Either that
have
or
to
just
make
something
that
more
happen.
smooth. Yeah.
Say that again.
Just like smoother travel, pretty much like if the I forget what it's called, but pretty much if the shock can be smooth at the like early compressions, but at the later compressions be more or more beefy or like more or pretty much
Like
harder at the bottom, but then softer at the top or
progressive.
insert progressive
Yep.
suspension. That'd be beautiful.
Yep. Showtime said she thinks the engineers were wearing LA gears when designing the pads, those big chunky sneakers. So that's why.
Maybe. No,
It could be. So now we're talking about the Sherman S. Um, that is the veteran's newest iteration of the wheel, and that's a surprise at 100 volts. That's something
still
that really
100.
surprised me. 100 volts.
So
Go
that's
ahead.
fine. I think it's okay.
Yeah,
Why?
it's fine.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that any wheel above 100 has given us all that much to be excited about. Um, they've claimed higher speeds, this, that, and the other, but a lot of them have just ended up in big fireballs. So I'm
Yeah.
not fully convinced yet that over 100 is giving us all that we want.
Well, maybe not all that we want, but I'll be honest. I think over 100 volts. Like I was saying, if you keep increasing the battery power, you keep increasing the motor power, then you got to increase the voltage. I don't know. I feel like the uneven increase is what the problem is. Um,
I don't know.
and
I'm not an engineer, so I don't know.
nor am I. I'm just like legit. I'm just
I
giving you giving you my guess.
I think the 134 of the Master definitely kicks ass.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just having the acceleration and braking. That's that world of difference that I'm totally willing to spend the extra money on. But
Yeah.
I really think that we need like at least some kind of soft.
Sorry. Hold on. Trying to get this to
Extra
play without now that's gonna be a strike.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just want
Nah,
to see
it was
the.
like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I just want to see like some kind of open source tuning, or at least some kind of soft tuner where you can mess with it on your own.
Yeah.
That's definitely huge hindrance for a lot of riders that want specific like ride feels rather than the 3 modes that every company gives you. InMotion's doing a great job with that whole like choosing your percentage for acceleration braking.
Mhm.
But
Right.
if Gotway or Kingsong can do the same thing, then that'll make a world of difference.
Right, and that's what I think is like they're headed in the right direction when they do stuff like that, but then we get other stuff that just sends us backwards. So that's why I think that's why I'm having trouble, Mickey, with the 100 volts. Just because, I think, and I know what you said, you're like, they didn't really show me anything yet, but 126 volts, 134 volts, I think they're still perfecting it, obviously, but I don't know that limiting it to 100 volts, and then it's at 100 volts, but it's 3,600 watt hours and 3,000. Well, it's a 3,000 watt motor, so I guess they didn't increase that, so I guess that's all right. If it's going to be 100 volt, it can't be more than 3,000, it seems. If you go higher than 3,000, it seems like you're going to need more voltage than that. But it's listed at a 20-inch wheel, so they stuck with the Sherman wheel size. They like that. And it's got a lift speed of 64 miles per hour. And it's listed at 4,150. Again,
still a regular hub motor?
64? What's the lift speed on a regular Sherman?
It's a good question. I think the lift speed, because the Sherman, I think it was 65. No, I thought it was the same thing, 65. I could be wrong.
It's lower than I thought, but I mean,
it is, but it's 100 volt. But it's 100 volt. Remember, they're not gonna like the 100 volt 3,000 watt motor. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a big improvement over the Sherman. So that's why the only difference, it's like the Sherman with suspension. The only thing they changed, it seems, is the outside. Obviously, they changed the structure of the wheel. You can see in the video, but I think that they're not. That's what I mean. I don't think that they did enough to upgrade the inside of the wheel. It's still 100 volt. It's 3,000 watt motor. I'm like, well, you're not giving me like frontline stuff, but you're charging me $4,100.
Yeah, I mean, look, Leaper Kim's last. What's the term? Their last
iteration, or
their last wheel they made was a complete and utter failure. So
was it
the Max,
the Abrams?
Oh, you're talking about the Abrams?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Talking about the
Max.
Max
is
the
Max is the Max is this. No, the Max is the same shit as the Sherman.
It is.
Yeah.
Just more distance.
Talk about their other wheel. So
the Abrams is garbage. I called it out.
It is.
So it's like, I don't know what to think about Leaper Kim now. It's like, it's a big question mark.
I think something that's holding them back, though, is also sticking with the hub motors. Because if they went hollow route, then they'd be able to pump more energy into the motors and not have to cry so much about overheating.
This one's not hollow?
No.
Not that I know of.
No, because they didn't convert. That's why it's another reason.
Weird.
They're still keeping the same things that they had. Like they didn't. That's what I'm saying. Okay. There hasn't been enough of an upgrade. All they did was stick suspension on this and change the casing.
Because that's definitely where they fucked up with the Abrams.
This is the hot take. Wait, hold on. Was the Abrams hollow bore?
No, it was a regular hub motor, and you had no power. It had a regular hub motor, and then the hangers would end up flexing, just like the fucking Monster V3.
My hot take is when you slap suspension on an axle motor, it's the same shit as if you just didn't have suspension and put a hollow bore. Like, so
in which sense?
Like a smoother ride. Like when I got on the X-Men wheel. Was it the X-Men?
Yeah.
I think it's got a hollow bore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an RX.
I got on that and I was just like, ooh, I forgot how nice hollow bore is. So, I think you're right. They needed to have hollow bore and suspension.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Again, I feel like it is not a big enough upgrade. Like the external outside of the wheel looks like a huge upgrade because it has the handle, the casing, like they changed it and it looks really dope. The pedals, the way they click out to different like positions. I'm like, okay, but what did you do inside? Like what's the real change to the wheel? It's still 100 volt, still not a hollow bore motor, 3,000 watt. Like where's the increase? Because you increased the price,
Hold on.
So
Roger's saying that Sherman Max was a hollow.
he
Was
said
it?
Oh.
he said it's a large bore, and then he's saying large bore equals hollow bore. Oh, I don't know
Ah.
about that. Okay, give us a second on that, Roger. But Roger, no,
So
he's informed a lot, so he might be right.
Uh,
Um,
Roger's a guy who's informed enough, but not informed completely.
uh, no, Roger's a
I'm
cool guy.
just kidding, Roger. I'm
Roger's
just kidding.
solid.
Roger is actually really smart.
Yeah, he
Hi,
is
Um,
Roger.
very
Hi,
smart.
Roger.
I'm with you though. I think the
Well,
price increase hurts the pocket for what seems to we're getting.
yeah, well, especially when you compare it to the other wheels that are their prices went up, and we were already mad at the prices going up. Period. But they went up and they're completely different wheels. Like they completely changed. Bagode changed, revamped their entire line so that they could raise the prices. and and then you get to Sherman and it seems like they're trying hard to give you incremental changes, but charge you for overall like an overhaul to the wheel, which they didn't give you.
Sounds like Hillary Clinton.
So Real Talk is saying, what about the leaky suspension? Yeah, that was another issue on the Master. They're saying that, like me, I have to pump the suspension up to 400 in order to try and, but then it leaks out,
Jeez.
and that's the only way I can get it to really give me a comfy ride at my weight and give me what I want. But then some people were having trouble with it. I went to pump it up tonight. And I said, let me just check it. And it was at 300. I said, oh, shit. I never let the air out. So I lost 100 PSI over time or all the riding and everything. So it happens. It does happen. So that's what I was saying. They're doing better on the suspensions. I don't know if they're still having a leaky air problem, but I know that the T4 and the Master Pro have better suspensions than the Master itself. So let's see.
Well,
I'm like looking for this damn motor for the Sherman Max. I want to see a picture of it.
Well, there's only a couple more wheels that we haven't talked about. I know Mickey, you got to go in a minute.
Yeah.
Let me ask you real quick then. Speedball, Extreme Bull Commander Pro.
Pass.
Stupid. Like so.
You lost me at X.
The so
Extreme
the commander high torque, it feels good, but you're stuck at that lower speed. But then the speed version,
But
it gets
it's
the
just
higher
like
speed, but you're fucking crying when you're trying to slow down because there's no torque on that thing.
yeah, and
Overheats.
It's just like a trash. It's like a
It
trash shell. I mean,
The shell feels better than a lot of other wheels because it's slimmer, and then they have that little bevel at that top edge, so then it feels better against the shins without
I'll
pads.
never get on board with a Sherman knockoff.
I'll get on board with it. A
Alright,
little
listen,
bit
what's your
less
other
pedal
wheel?
dip. A little less pedal dip is worth it.
I was with Mickey the whole time. I've never even ridden a Commander because I had zero interest. Like I felt like it was a copycat, and I just had zero interest. I said, unless somebody shows me or tells me some advantage to it, which I didn't see or feel, because I was like, I'm good. I like, honestly,
Right.
I just never had a desire to ride it. I might be wrong, and Mickey agrees. Law, you got a different opinion because you kind of like it has less pedal
Yeah,
dip.
but his whole thing, well, his whole thing is always about no pedal dip. Where
I hate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like cornering. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my
No,
thing.
I'm with you. Okay,
Uh,
before you go, Mickey, two more. The T4. Did you get a chance to ride it?
no, I think I'd like to try it out. It looks interesting.
T4
My
is
only
great.
fear is that it might become a fireball of death for a lot of people in their apartments. But yeah, I think I'd like to try it out. If someone has one in New York, I'd love to test it out.
I was about to be able to tell. We got to ride one in Arkansas, and a friend of ours here just had hers air shipped to her, and I was like, yes, she got it yesterday. I was like, ooh, we about to go ride, and it is a brick.
Oh no. Yes.
She's
So
so
Hey,
for
that
what
mad
doesn't
we
mean
right
do,
now.
anything. A lot of people get bricks in the mail.
She's so mad right now. She was so angry. She
come
canceled
on now.
her M104 that she was had coming next. She's like, I give up. I can't,
Damn.
Oh
because
no.
she has an EXN, and she loves her EXN. And then she's like, this, it just feels cheap and garbage. I was like, okay, calm down. First of all, that wheel's actually better made than your EXN. Your EXN has a whole lot of hard plastic, and it just seems more sturdy. This T4 is more metal. So I'm like,
Mhm.
just hold off on that crazy talk. I know you're upset
Yeah,
because it stopped working right now, but
exactly.
it's an electronic, and that happens to to people sometimes. They'll fix it, and you'll get another one, and you'll be good, and I'm guarantee you'll love it. She's like,
Right.
she was so upset. She was moving it around. She was on with Jason, and she's gonna ship it to Boston, and they're gonna swap out whatever and fix it for her, right? She
Yeah.
stubbed her toe on it and broke her toe.
Oh no.
And I said, I told you it was made of metal.
Ugh.
Broke her toe. Now she can't ride for a little bit. She's not happy. That
Ugh.
happened today. She's not happy.
So
So,
when I first
Well,
tried the T4, it was with EVs and back in Arkansas, and then that thing it's smooth. I love that you get more
buttery.
torque than a 16X, but at the same time, you're not getting nearly as much torque as you would get on like an RS or pretty much any other bigger wheel. Uh, it's nimble. I love the stock tire on it. It's like a kind of like a dual sport kind of street tire. Uh,
Yep.
it's solid overall, but I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't tell anybody to go like serious off road or go up or try to go high speed with.
That's the only problem with the T4. And Mickey, you'll find this right away, is that it doesn't have the high speed you're looking for. I'm putting up all
Yeah.
all your messages, by the way, Mickey. I'm putting them up on screen just so you know.
yeah, real talk. Didn't you design the V13? No,
Yeah.
I've never designed a wheel. I'm not an engineer.
Yeah, I put all those comments up as you were typing them. So,
No,
uh,
okay, hold on. Showtime misunderstood what I said. When I said plenty of people get bricks in the mail, I mean you shouldn't judge that wheel because a lot of people have DOA wheels. It's not unique to that one wheel. You know
she's
what I mean?
talking
Like
drugs. She's talking drugs. Who's
people,
sending you bricks?
oh,
Somebody does a laughing
relax,
face after it.
chill out,
I'm
chill
two
out.
wheels. I'm two wheels in a row with first that master or
Yeah.
the one that you got. Yeah, the master the daughter board was down, so then it wouldn't charge. But that got addressed, so then that's fine now. But then the freaking S20 when I got that, it was dead for a month, and then got a new controller and everything's
Oh,
fine. So
okay. That's what I wanted to ask
it's
you.
an issue.
When you say the daughter board, what do you mean?
So there's like the big controller, and then there's a smaller controller.
Ah,
They have
okay.
different purposes. Yeah. So then
Gotcha.
right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The smaller board was really just for like the charging aspect of it.
Gotcha. Well, I felt bad for Linda because the wheel worked when she first got it. She
Yeah.
couldn't unlock it. She was
Mm.
trying the unlocking thing, and then
Yeah.
she's connected it to the app, the Begode app,
Did she
and
try
then
updating it?
she tried to update it, and it bricked. Then it what?
Wait,
Oh, okay,
that's
okay.
not the
I have
same as
I have an
getting a brick
answer.
in the mail.
Right, right.
Yeah, different. I
So
have an
I
answer.
go ahead.
So I was hanging out with Adam wrong way when we were in Arkansas. Also, we were playing with the wheel. It was fine, but then when we connected it, we were looking at the other potential firmwares because we were annoyed by the lack of torque and that
Yep.
lower speed. So looking at it, it had the test T4 firmware and then the actual T4 firmware. So we tried the test, and then the thing is with the test part of it, uh, you ended up having to like hold the power button down while you're updating the firmware because if you released it, then it would just turn off and then you would have to restart from zero. So maybe try having her hold down the fucking power button while it's updating. So
It won't do nothing now. That's the problem. It was dead,
Really?
dead. Wouldn't do nothing. And I told her, I said, hold the power button like forever. Like legitimately keep holding it and see if you get anything, because I remember when the EXN came, we had trouble unlocking it, and then then I was like, oh shit. Like for a minute I was like, I hope it didn't like brick, and then I was like, come on, and then I held the power button, then I got some life out of it, then I was ultimately able to do it. So I was trying to walk her through that, but she had already gotten on with Jason, and they tried all kinds of measures and whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, as long as you got on with somebody that knows what they're doing with it, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So
have her try one more time. Just
she's done. She already shipped it. She packed it.
Oh, she did already. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember what he said? That girl, like she's over it.
Yeah, she was. If it, I felt like I talked her off a ledge. Like I was like, okay, listen, it's not. Trust me, it's not that bad. It happens. You know, once you get this wheel and it's working, you're gonna be in love, because she doesn't ride fast. So she's gonna absolutely fall in love with that wheel as soon as she starts riding it, because it's buttery smooth. It rides even better than the Master. Like I was just like, it just feels smooth. Like someone who doesn't ride at high speeds is gonna be in love beyond measure. And I've ridden with her. Like she's a, she rides real easy, and she's gonna go through trails and go, oh my god, I love it. Like
yeah, definitely for anybody who ends up dealing with this specific issue. I would try just holding the power button and then taking the app, try connecting it while still holding the power button, and then from that try updating whilst never letting go of that power button. It should hopefully get through to some people, or it'll hopefully work for some people who end up breaking the wrong firmware or by using the wrong firmware.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get her to do. But okay, Mickey, you may have some insight on the last one. I don't know if you do. And Law, you might too. I don't know. The King Song
I say yes.
S16. The King Song's new 16-inch wheel. Anyone?
S16?
Anyone?
When did they do that? I didn't hear it, but yeah, same. What the hell?
Yeah, there's this is well, either it's because it's not the 16S, because they had that already. So I think they're calling it. I may have the name wrong, because I don't have any information on it. I just know that
where did you get the info from?
What's the name? Adam and Wrong Way, and these guys were talking about it on theirs, and I was like, you know what? I haven't even heard of that. And they, Jack is the one I think was bringing the info from King Song, and he said that they were working on the design way back when he was still with them, and it's a 16-inch new 16-inch King Song wheel, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's see what that has to offer. Not a lot of details on it, and I'm like,
Showtime
I wonder if
16XS.
Yeah, there you go. That they could call it that. I don't know, but
well,
or 16XS.
We'll see.
16XS is literally just a King Song 16X with half the battery. we have one at Yuko.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's it. No, it wasn't that. It was a newer, a different design.
S16, that's a different story for sure.
Okay,
yeah,
so we're on the hunt
earlier,
for those details.
Mr. Johnny Zapp ended up asking if the T4 would be a good commuter wheel as a replacement for the 16S. It would definitely.
Yeah,
Just be able to get that extra top speed.
I put that in the up in the screen as well. Yeah, Johnny, definitely. I can tell you, I've owned a 16X and I rode the T4. Yes, with capital Y.
Like maybe I'll get rid of my Sherman and get a T4 for commuting.
No.
It's
not
too
for me.
slow. It's too slow for you.
You would regret that.
Yeah, it's too slow for you. Like that's the thing, and that's the difference with the T4 is if you're a fast rider, it's not going to be for you. If you're just using it to commute and you're not doing 45, okay, then you're good. But if you ever ride 45 miles an hour, you can't get this wheel. It's just not for you. You know, the limits are about 35, 40, and I think they were saying 40 was the upper limit, or 40 or 42 was like the upper limit.
That's playing with fire, because it's literally the same speeds as the high torque.
Why didn't they make it match the Nikola? Like I was doing 40, 41 on my Nick, like top end, so you could cruise at like 35.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it's essentially matching the same as the high torque version of an RS, or MSB or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Well, with that said, I shall let you guys go, but
All right, Mickey.
For sure.
I
Well,
look forward to chatting
See
again
you.
soon.
yeah, thanks for coming out,
Likewise,
Mickey.
bud.
I appreciate it. We always appreciate your very strong point of view.
There are a
You
lot of things you can say about me, but you can never say that I sugarcoat it.
no, but I do got one thing for you. On the way out the door, I appreciate you, Mickey. Thank you. No, I, I try to do this, and I like doing these kind of shows where we're talking about new stuff because, you and Law both have strong opinions, but you're not always the same opinion. So
Hmm.
I like having
That's
like
very true.
different views on things because, I'm very positive all the time, but
Mhm.
my what I do is not the same as what you do. Like you said, you were saying like I think you got a lot of off road over there. Not a lot, but more than you.
Mhm.
So is my point of view is
Yeah.
different. And then he's in Vegas. Well, when he's in Vegas, because Law seems to be the jet setter right now, all over the place. But
I like
it's a
showing
lot.
up.
So
Huh.
um, I really appreciate that though. You guys having different points of view helps. So I want to talk
Mhm.
about both events, but Mickey, I know you got to go. So I'm gonna trim it down here, and I'll see you in the next one, Mickey. All
All
right,
right. See you guys
deuces.
later.
See you, Mickey.
All right, so I am going to change you over, Law. Let's see. Assign
Sure.
you to 1, jump you over there, and drop that down to there. Boom, bang, boom.
Dang.
TV
Let's
magic,
go.
baby. TV
There we
magic.
go.
So, all right,
Yeah.
so
So again with the T4
go ahead.
for yeah, when people are commuting with it, the handle on the 16X is so much better as far as like ergonomics go,
Yeah.
because you push the button, then it's right there, and it's so much easier to maneuver as you're standing.
Yes.
The
The 16X has the best handle known to man, I still still
Yeah,
think.
that's a huge factor. The weight, you're adding freaking 10, 15 pounds when you're doing the T4. Uh, and then again, that's bringing up firmware. It's the 16X hooks corners way better.
Mhm.
Uh, but again, the T4 isn't as miserable. Uh,
It's
but that
much
extra top speed makes it worth it.
yeah, the King Song though, the 16X is a great feeling wheel. I love riding the 16X. It's still to me one of the most all-around good wheels. Like it has just enough of everything to do well, but putting suspension on a T4 basically gives you like a whole nother level to your
Yeah.
16X. So if you're rocking a 16X and you're loving a 16X, then you will love the T4. Like honestly, you're gonna lose your mind being in love with the T4. Um,
Definitely helps with the knees.
yeah, yeah. Oh, as a matter of fact, somebody said that, and I'm sorry. I know I skipped a lot of comments and I skipped around a little bit here, but somebody made mention of their knees because that's my problem as well. My old ass
Yeah.
knees. I'm like, you know what? I needed that suspension to help, and that's another reason why I feel like I don't know, like spoiled now. I feel like damn. All of a sudden, I I feel like I don't ever want to ride a wheel without suspension. And I passed this comment. Now I can't find it, but somebody in here was talking about how they need the suspension because of their knees, and I'm all on board with that. All on board with that.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't let go of the I can't let go of my EXN until there's something that feels better on the legs, just as far as like just general ergonomics. Maybe the V13 down the line, because it looks slimmer than the other fucking large wheels.
it might, like honestly, you might get what you're looking for out of the
Yeah,
V13. But what I wanted to say is like when you look at this, right? The the Sherman S. You see
yeah.
that handle?
I
Like
hate the handle.
I'm like the
It's so dumb.
whole top is the handle. Like
It's
oh,
like
there we go again. Hold on.
it's like a flat nickel handle.
It's too much. It's like
Yeah.
I think it's too much.
It's
Like
it looks pretty robust.
it
Um,
does.
it looks like it's not going to snap on the first twist, but then again, if you dump the wheel, you're going to wreck it regardless.
It looks like it's gonna break though. At some
Hmm.
point, it's gonna break, and it's the whole top. Like
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. I don't know. Again, we're just guessworking here because
yeah, because no one's touching it yet.
no, no.
I hope that headlight isn't the same as the Hero,
Yeah.
I
The
hate that headlight.
um yeah, the Hero looked like it was gonna be good, but I don't think it lived up to it.
Yeah, no.
Um, what I
Sorry for
want,
everybody who owns a Hero.
yeah, there's quite a few people that mentioned it. Oh, that's what I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to take a peek at the V13.
Yeah.
I didn't pull up theirs initially, but look at
So
that
with those
handle.
foam, yeah,
Look at
it's
that.
still just as dumb. Makes no sense. But it's a stubbier, just a stubbier version of the V12.
He said
And then
just as
there's
dumb.
yeah, there's not even utility of like really controlling it while it's down. And anybody who's gonna even think of sitting down on that thing without putting like a proper seat on is good luck to them.
Look,
Unless they're into that kind of thing, but that's up to them.
well, I honestly immediately thought, well, how do you turn? Like, it looks like if
Yeah,
you start turning it while you're trying to walk it, you're gonna snap it off.
yeah,
Like it doesn't look sturdy, just connected
right.
right there.
Like
You
I
know.
hope it raises up higher. I mean, then again, like the V12 didn't have much of a mount to it in the first place.
Hmm.
The yeah, this thing it's gonna be doable, but you're gonna have to turn it really slow. And fuck that tire. I hope they don't put that tire on that thing. That's definitely a backwards move.
Look at
What I
the
do,
look. It's not as flat as the Master and the EX20S though.
yeah,
It still looks crappy, but the tire, that's not the same tire, right? I don't think so. It
it's
it
gonna be similar,
it could be
at
though.
least.
Like look right there.
Yeah,
See the profile of it?
yeah.
It's not quite as flat.
It
It
is a
has
digital
a
render.
it well
We'll see.
it this looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Um
we'll see
and
when we get it.
and then let's see. Let me can I count this on?
The what I'm happy about is the foam pads. How they're using two separate pieces for the lower end.
Yep.
Being able to adjust that however the hell you need, then that's going to make a nice difference for a lot of riders.
Was that Kelly?
Oh yeah, that's Mike and Kelly in the little in motion V12 video. That's the for the high torque version.
Oh, here I am. I
Yeah,
thought that was the what's the name? Oh, it is. It is the V that they were just in the intro.
yeah, it's a V13 announcement. Yeah,
Yeah, but I was trying to get to where they actually showed because didn't they just show it? No, he didn't. Later on, he shows it, and I want to see up close. I thought he had one there. There we go. Wait, now in this picture, it looks like the same damn tire.
yeah. I hate it, but it's the yeah, it's got that similar tread pattern to
Yeah, it's
a lot
kind
of
of
the
got
tires you
almost a
don't need.
almost a flat front again.
Yeah,
Damn it!
yeah. No, it's not good.
Didn't you guys learn
We
anything?
yeah, we need like a cross, some kind of hex, like a cross pattern for any knobby tire that's thrown on an EUC. Because
But well,
at least with like a motorcycle, you have two points of contact, so then you're way easily, it's so much easier to be able to restabilize.
well,
Um,
I think the biggest thing for me with the off road, the knobby tires, and all the different things that they're going through is to make sure that they don't make the mistake of putting on a flat profile, like they did on the Master and the EX20S. The flat
yeah,
front, that bottom, it was so weird and scary. Like I've never
yeah,
felt so unstable when I tried to lean and went, floop,
yeah.
oh!
It's because there's so much gap in between. But
It,
yeah, again, I feel like this is going to be on that same route where people are forced to just ride straight, um, unless they make a street tire version of this or give us an option for most companies. That'd be great.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know.
So,
Again, hopefully we can just get tires swapped out on it easily in relation to other wheels for this thing.
well, I can tell you, I'm not sure if Yuko's doing it. I know they probably are, but I know Jason is at
Yeah,
eWheels. He's swapping. He's allowing you to pick which tire you want when you buy the
for this
wheel.
wheel or for the M10. I remember the M10
Um,
was an option,
there
but
was a couple of them.
mm,
I was looking at all of them today, so I can't remember which ones, but there was a couple of, like a few of them, I think actually were given. There was an option to switch out
yeah,
um, to which, and it was the Master Pro, definitely. I can't remember whether it was this one or not, because this one emotion, I don't know that he has the same amount of leeway with emotion wheels as he does with Be Gold wheels. So I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I know just having him do that is a big deal to me because I know that the Master, I like knobby tires, but knowing how shitty that knobby tire is, I would have said send me
Yeah.
the street tire,
Yeah, for sure.
and then I would have
Like,
put the Shinko 244 on it and been good to go.
yeah, honestly, I hope, well, pretty much all EUC companies just go with street tires because on average, people aren't doing anything extreme as far as like their off-roading goes. Uh,
See, now
it's
I think the opposite.
oh really
I think the opposite. I think that they need to go with a tire like the Shinko 244, which
244. I can agree with that
yeah,
because at
because
least that
that's
has a better
it,
tread pattern.
it's a tire that you can use on both, and that's
Yeah,
why I like it because when you're riding on the street, I feel stable, I feel secure, I feel powerful. It has the same hum that you get out of the Sherman,
yeah,
which I wasn't necessarily thinking I wanted, but I guess
yeah,
I was already used to it, and I'm like, oh, I like that sound, so I'm
yeah.
good. But off road, it gives me everything I want and then some. So I felt good
I
off
get that.
road, and I felt good on the street. So that's
Right.
the kind of tire I like. So the
Yeah.
EXN came with a tire that looks incredible,
Hmm.
and it's great on the road. But Showtime was telling me she said it was the worst tire she's ever ridden on in the dirt.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of factors that go into that. Like for especially like a lot of people who are new into the game and then they end up buying the biggest wheel or whatever. If they get stuck with a knobby tire, there's a lot of times where they don't know how to really like learn how to ride because one of the biggest things with getting a wheel to turn is getting it on a bank and then having like a knobby tire where you have to exaggerate the movement even more. Sometimes I feel like that could set people up for learning a little bit more difficult, or it turns it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody has their preference, definitely, but I think a tire that is able to do more things is just what I'm looking for because, like
Yeah,
that, the street tire that the pilot one that you had on the wheel, oh my god, that was not it, not for
it,
me.
it,
I was like,
it corners
oh
great
my
on
god,
straight.
no, 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 no. I felt I don't know, I just didn't feel secure on it, or
Mm.
I didn't feel confident on it,
Yeah, because it
and
felt
I
squirrely to you. Maybe.
yeah, and I put the
Yeah,
Shinko on it, and I said, "Oh, now we're talking, baby. Let's go." And I felt stronger, more
yeah.
secure, more positive. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I felt
Just
like
because it hides a lot of flaws. So like
true,
if you have bad positioning sometimes then it'll hide it because it's just scrubbing away a lot of
true,
that
true,
little bit of
true.
wobble and
Mm-hmm.
it makes a nice difference for sure for yeah, anybody who's going at the higher speeds especially.
Yep. You know what? Hold on. 16. I got my S22. I missed a lot of comments. I'm sorry, guys. My first was a 16X. Now I got my S22. I love it, but now I want a higher speed. What you guys
Yeah.
recommend with all these wheels? See, and
I can't
I'm this
recommend anything yet.
right. It's like look. All I can tell you is hang on and wait, because if you like the suspension that you got in the S22, but you want more speed, I would have told you Master 100%.
Mhm.
But the suspension
But
on the Master is not right. Like you have to change it in order to get what you want out of that suspension. If you're coming from an S22, it's a much stiffer suspension. You're not gonna like the suspension probably on the Master, and the
yeah,
Master
it also
hasn't.
depends.
Go ahead.
It also depends on if he's off road or like heavy landings.
Yep,
Like
true.
so if he's doing regular like cruising, like say on the 16X or so, the extra speed on I mean honestly I would say point towards the V13 because also firmware is
Hmm.
going to affect him because if he's riding like assuming he's riding hard mode the whole time or just knowing how the wheel works then he's going to want the V13 down the line but
Well, you can
yeah
see it right here. This is what you probably gonna want, but that's high speed. It's gonna fly. I think. I think they're
yeah
gonna limit it, but I think it's gonna have the potential. Um, Again, it's not proven. So right
hmm
now we're just giving you conjecture. This is what we believe, and
hmm
honestly, I think him and I would both agree on the V13. Um,
yeah
but that's because to me right now, I think this is going to be the wheel in that range, like the Master area. You know what I mean? Because the Master has a here comes my dog. All right, honey. The Master has the ability to do a lot, but I think it doesn't deliver on its promise for a lot of things, especially the suspension. It just doesn't deliver
Yeah.
on that.
It's good for soft bumps, but then it's so easy to bottom out. As far unless you're using the super high psi, but then again, the pump's not really rated for that.
It's the top out that is getting me
Oh,
more
the
than the
top out.
bottom. Yeah, because when I go over stuff, it's cushy, but then it comes right back up and like you hit the top, like it goes
Yeah.
down and thunk, thunk, thunk.
You couldn't
and
set the return on it.
that doesn't have that's not a that does it doesn't adjust for it's a dampener, but it's a dampener for the suspension itself. It's not for a return.
Oh, for coming down. Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And you automatically start adjusting the knob, and I start turning it, and Roger's the one that was
Yeah.
telling me. He's like, well,
doesn't
was it
do
Roger?
anything.
It was somebody else who got on it. They go, oh no, it doesn't have any return dampening. I said, well, yeah, that knob. He's like, no, that's not for that. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, it's my wheel, and I don't know. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So they were saying that that's the issue, is that now I put all this psi in there, and it
Yeah.
tops out. It goes, I hit
Yeah.
a bump. I'm like, cush. I'm like, this feels good. And then right after
then
it, dunk, 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 and I keep feeling it. So when I was on Thunderdome, I was like
Yeah.
soaring, boom, dunk, boom, thunk, boom, like but you get used to it. It's not
Yeah.
it's not as jarring as like jumping off a curb or anything like that.
Right.
So
No, it's still softening your landings.
Yeah.
It's still giving you a better time.
right. So it's still better. It's just not perfect, and you really are looking for perfect. So the Master, and we didn't really talk about it because everybody's already knows about the Master because we already have it in our hands. But what happened there?
Yeah, Roger said no compression dampening for it.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue I have. Why does it keep going to that one? Oh, I guess I got the wrong link. That's the problem I have on the Master, is that it doesn't have the compression dampening, or the return dampening. It has the compression dampening, so you can fix your compression going down, but you can't fix it on the release and the return. And
Yeah.
so in the Roger's helping me now. He trying to buy one to replace it and use a different. What he says, mine has return dampening. Yours is broke. Well, if you must have a different suspension than what comes on it, because the one that comes on it doesn't change or alter the return. It only alters what going down, and so that's the issue that I have on it. When somebody else was trying to ride it, they're like, "Why can't you fix this?" I'm like, I can only. I'm not an engineer. I can turn the knob. That's all I know how to do. I turn the knob. And he's like, "No, this ain't it." So I am gonna change and go to another suspension, and change the bracket. It has the little cutout. Yeah. Oh, and Roger's saying yeah, and that's the other thing. Mine has returned. No, that's the other guy. Roger says that and a huge pressure, the rebound sucks. Right. That's the other reason why I'm getting that top out, is because I'm putting a lot of pressure in my wheel.
That's another factor for the T4. So with the T4, it has a different suspension design. It's like the same idea, but it's different measurements for the way that the pump's traveling. So then you don't need as much pressure on the T4, but at the same time, you're still able to get that same dampening whilst not necessarily requiring as much to return, so it softens that out on the coming back up.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Roger's saying I got it backwards. So Roger, that knob is supposed to change that. Then why do I still feel it no matter which way I change it?
Maybe it's just broken.
Yeah, maybe he's right. Maybe Electric Unicycle Adventure's right. Maybe mine is broken.
God.
I know that no matter which way I turn it, I still get the same thing. So Roger, you have you can't tell me either, Roger, because you changed yours. You already changed yours out, so you can't tell me. Who else has a Master? Do you feel that top out on the suspension? Because maybe mine is broke. No, he could be right. Maybe he is right. I don't know. I know that I turn the knob all the way one way, all the way the other way, and it has
Same thing.
a lot of different settings. But every time I go over, I feel that boom. I'm like, all right, well, it's not. I can't change the top out, and that to me it was the biggest problem with that suspension. So, but I got another one on the way. So I'm hoping that with that cutout that Merlin Fish came up with, and Roger he made one for his as well. Um, when I get this new suspension, I'm hoping that it has a better setting, so I won't feel that. I'll let you guys know though, that's for sure. But so you weren't here at the beginning. I wanted to ask you, how did you
Sure.
feel? What are your thoughts on Arkansas and the Anth
Arkansas,
Electric Games?
I loved seeing everybody there. That was huge. Just seeing a whole bunch of like diehard riders just getting together and just messing around. Um, yeah, like sure the what I think we could have done also, we could have had a friggin' like little off road or like a grass track in the center of the whole event because I think just being limited to only the oval track, we could have just added more
You think
in that area.
we could have used more events
Yeah,
in that time frame?
yeah,
Okay,
I think we could have finagled that.
good
Um,
notes.
the Thunderdome kicked ass. I
Oh,
wanted to get way more laps on it. It was so much fun. Uh,
yes,
Never
that
been
was
on
one of
any
the
single track that's that smooth.
that was one of the best things I ever done ever
Hmm.
uh, on a wheel ever. That was.
Yeah,
What did you think about the rail yard?
rail yard kicked ass. That was like so much learning for just seeing everybody who wasn't jumping at all until like just seeing them send it and get up like 2 or 3 feet in the air. That was huge. Um, I'm always happy seeing people really push themselves safely, but yeah, it was nice seeing that a lot of like riders that are only for street just opening their eyes to doing other things that aren't just leaning forward.
Yeah, and I was one of them. I was like, you know what? I ain't jumping. And then I'm watching everybody. I'm like, screw it. I'll try it. What the hell?
Yeah, no,
So,
it made a nice difference. Like the yellow line is like there's like the first line, second line, third line, fourth line for at least the just the
hmm
primary like kind of practice series of jumps.
right.
Uh, Coming on like the first and second line, I was fine. That was comfortable. But then just even myself like getting myself to nut up and just jump off that ledge into the slope and then really hitting that little bit of gap that was enough to make me feel infinitely more confident with regular jumps. It's
Um, well, in the chat here, okay, so we got a couple different people. Roger's saying the rebound fails on most of the stock shocks. So
oh yeah.
maybe it's just that my shock is broke. So that could be it. If I'm gonna tell you
Sounds
right
about right.
now, if the one that I'm ordering is better than this is then it's gonna be a whole different feel because I love the master. I just hate that I keep topping out. So if it can fix
Yeah.
that, because and I'm running and and then hold on, somebody else just said something right here. Robert Fantanosa said I have the master and you can adjust the dampening and run 400 psi since I use a different pump. I have a
Ah.
pump. I have a different pump as well, and I run 400 psi in my master, but it still tops out. So you don't feel that thunk when you're topping out on yours, Roger. I mean, Robert. I know Roger was saying that it breaks a lot. So,
Mhm.
and then Mickey said, buy the shock that Francisco has. Francisco, send me what shock you bought. I'm already buying one. And there was two different ones. I didn't want to do the long one. I was gonna do how they have the long bracket and it sticks out the back. That was the
Mhm.
plan, but it was too much. I was like, that's too much money. I, it was another like 500 between the shock and the bracket, and I was like,
Yeah.
no. So then Roger found me one online that was I could get cheaper, and then I'm gonna get the plates, and then it's gonna be a lot less, more
Mhm.
like 150. I'm like, there we go. Now we're talking, and I'm gonna go with a different one. It doesn't have the same amount of travel as that long one, but it's supposedly much better. So I'm hoping that I can put that on soon, and then I'll be even more in love. Um, Adventures in Gold said I would replace it with a hydraulic shock. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what works and what doesn't work. I'm gonna keep working. Oh, and
We'll
Robert
see.
said so he gets no thunk at all at the top. Well, then mine's broke then.
Seems
If
to
you're
be.
yeah, so Robert, you're running 400 psi like I am, and you're adjusting yours and not getting that thunk, then I guess mine is broke. Yep. So, and he says there's at least 5 masters running around in base state area and none thunk at the top like yours. Okay, then that's what I was looking to hear,
There you
man.
go.
Thank you, Robert. You just hooked me up. I know mine's broke now. Thank you. I appreciate that because information is the key. Stay home. I'm not. I missed something obviously. Um, Video of your new shock setup. Yes, of course, of course. Roger, if you watch Roger, he already did it. I'm doing pretty much the setup that Roger has. Um, he had a cutout on the side so he can adjust. It has a lever to adjust the shock, and it's a pretty good shock. So I'm hoping that that's gonna like make me sore. But I was just riding it today, even seated. There's something about riding that master seated with the Clark pad system on,
The
especially.
master seated is
Oh,
great.
oh my God.
The Clark one is weird just because you end up I don't know how to explain the lack of friction kind of throws me off on that one because
On
I'm,
the
I'm already happy with the regular stock seat.
yeah,
That one just having that flat panel kicked ass.
yeah.
The I wish it wasn't as like angled forward for the Clark pad setup. Did you notice that?
It has a little bit. Oh shit,
Yeah.
mine's upstairs. It has a little bit of a forward. You talking about the lip, how it goes up a
Yeah,
little bit?
it like hooks back. Yeah,
It's only a slight angle though. You know
yeah, it's
that
not
bothers
much.
you.
I want it to just be like just flat.
Yeah.
Maybe a tiny bit. 'Cause I see it benefiting people who are used to sitting farther back, and then that can help put them into a better like seated position
Uh
for
huh.
just general riding. Because what I do notice with people riding, it's if their butt's too far back and then they're kind of countering that motion by being like fully leaned forward and crouched over.
Yeah.
So I guess that would potentially help with just your back and just being in a proper orientation.
Well, I really like that because my knees, like I said, my knees suck. My knees are a lot older than your
Yeah.
knees, and when I go to when I go to squat and sit,
Yeah.
the transition between squatting and standing back up and sitting down, and
Yeah.
it's
It makes it
torture on
better
the
for you?
knees, and then sitting all that time with the knees bent is torture
Yeah.
on my knees.
Oh,
So
for sure.
that little bit of height that the Clark pads gives it is huge for me.
Yeah.
Huge. Like it's a game changer. I put that on and I'm like, hell yeah. I was so happy. So I was on it today and I'm seated riding and we were going through some intersections where I'm almost to a stop and I'm looking and
Yeah.
looking and then I was able to lean and roll out and just keep going. I was like, I couldn't
Yeah.
do that before because it was so low. I was scared
you're
that, oh my
cramped.
God. I was like, oh my God, my knees are going to just like,
Yeah.
it's going to, oh, I can't do it. And then I
Yeah.
was like, and if a car comes and I have to stand up real quick, I'm going to be in danger because my knees might give out. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. But with the Clark pad system, it puts me a little bit higher.
Just tall,
Gives me
just tall enough to
yeah,
be useful.
just there.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
it makes sense.
just enough to give me that meat that I need. I'm like,
Yeah.
get right up.
How tall are you again?
I'm 5'11".
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
yeah.
5'10", and then my thing is when I'm riding it, maybe it's just my inseam height or just the height of my knees.
probably.
Pretty much when I'm making a turn or if I'm trying to like get like fully leaned over or so on the
Yep.
master with like that pad setup, I feel like it's bumping my thigh a little bit too much. Whereas like the stock setup with it being lower, it was easier to like get my thigh like hugged over the wheel and really like
Mhm.
get into it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes a difference. You know, everybody's like, you might like like if you had the master still, you might be better off with the Grizzla pad system because Grizzla
Yeah.
gives you that front handle and back handle and the side pads, how it gives you that flat side so that you can put the pads wherever you want,
Right.
but then it doesn't have the top. It didn't alter
Mhm.
the top, so it gives you that
Yeah.
same flat profile.
I did like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see? Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. So Robert is saying they were going back and forth in the chat, and he was saying that a lot of people were still having trouble with that shock, and then that shock still sucks and it's fragile. And then Keith said, yeah, but are they well over 200 pounds? And then Robert said, well, true. I'm only 185 pounds with gear, no, not over 220. I'm 235 to start, and then we got to put gear on top of that. So yeah, I'm putting more pressure on the wheel than you are. I'm asking and requiring more of my wheel. So, it is. Let me see if I can get that to dim down a little bit. There you go. So anyway, Law, the Wheel Life Rally.
Yes.
Talk to me about your experience at the Wheel Life Rally.
I'll never bring an S20 there again. So that thing was way too heavy. So like, it was great as far as like just getting around, but then the acceleration was non-existent. And then on top of that, just like even me playing on that little platform, just practicing jumping over it, whatever, just needing to work so hard just to get that thing up to speed. And then on top of that, just make the corners while the sand is, or while the dirt is like literally giving away all grip and all friction. It's better to have something that's lower to the ground, something that has better torque. I think the RS would be great over there because the top speed that anybody was really hitting was about maybe 30, 35 tops. Maybe on certain straights you can get a little more.
A lot of people were talking about the RS, excuse me, last year, and I thought this year, honestly, that the two wheels that to beat would be the S20 or S22 and the Master. The Master was definitely in the running because Jeremy was kicking ass on it, but it was a difference to see. I was trying to find your video. Did you post a video of you clearing that platform? I don't think you did.
No, I didn't bother. Or maybe it's there. It's like a different angle, though.
Yeah, I was trying to find that. Trying to find that so that people can see you clearing it on that. But what about the cutout? Talk about your cutout. That's what I wanted to.
Oh, dude, that was so frustrating. So I slid out on a couple occasions, but then one of them was I hit him like I just barely scraped a marker, and I was just trying to be graceful and avoid it. Because the wheel was so like just heavy and girthy, you couldn't really make the quick turn and then stay like intact with the ground. It's just mostly because the dirt was loose. So we got lost on that one, and then pulling the wheel up, King Song's, I pulled it up like I tried to fix it real quick, but it was probably like thinking it was still in a tumbling state multiple times, and then it was frustrating just trying to get the wheel back upright. And
to give you guys an idea, Law was in the lead.
I was so far ahead.
So far ahead, he had the race won, and then he ultimately was like third or fourth. Because
first one I turned into fourth because
he couldn't get the wheel going again.
It was at least like almost a minute just getting the wheel, having to put it down on its side and then turn it off and then pull it back up and then turn it back on. It was not fun.
And that was so upsetting because that was one of the things that you're like, what are you talking about? It's Law. Like he's winning. Like he has the race won already. And we're like, and Law. I'm thinking Law takes another one, and then I was like, turn it on. I'm like, Law, turn it back on, and he could not get the wheel back on. And I was like,
just cruising along.
I was like, damn, S22. It did not work out for Law that day. Not with that S22.
That's okay. Now, next time I'll have the RS, and then we'll have a better time. But
so here I got a video for people who don't know of the rail yard that we were talking about. And this is what we were saying, that everybody was jumping. People who don't jump were just going ahead and jumping and learning how to jump, clearing the the tabletop platforms there. And that was Jeremy right there. Jeremy never jumped anything like that. And he's like, first he was like, I ain't doing that. And then the next day his wheel came in. He's like, all right. And then he couldn't stop doing it. He's been trying to find stuff to jump ever since we've been back. So because you can't help wanting to jump. These two, they jumped in the air and they're giving high fives. There goes Jeremy again. This is Showtime's video, by the way. So, oh, he almost lost it. Oh, so, but just look how much fun this is. I mean, I don't know if you guys can really tell. We're just having fun, going one after the other, after the other, after the other. That's me in my little bloop bloop. That was the first time I went. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. It's such a scary feeling,
There
but
you go.
it's so much fun. There's Jeremy again.
Freaking Seth jumping up that one was fun.
There's Shibby,
Yeah,
Electric Dreams.
all the guys hitting the right line, the third and fourth lines like smoothly. It was beautiful seeing them transition, especially, or just
Yep.
swapping from the left to the right. That was great watching.
Yeah, and there's just this is one of the earlier ones, but there was so many things there to love. But anyway, I digress. I happen to go across that video, and I'm like, I got to show people what the rail yard really looks like. But on the Wheel Life Rally, we were talking about the fact that do you think you would have been able to do 2 days? Because somebody was
Yeah,
telling me 2 days, and I'm like, and then Mickey was like, I don't know if I could take 2 days. My legs.
2 days would be great.
Yeah. So we're thinking about it. I mean, I'm gonna talk to Rick and I see if we can make that happen. I don't know. So Robert said I need to ride another Master to try and compare. Oh, I need to ride the Master Pro, Cobra. Yeah, I definitely need the Master Pro. I that's legit. I want to sell. I'm gonna sell my Sherman and my Monster Pro, which I love both of them. And if you guys haven't seen them, they're all customized with my green and black. But I'm gonna sell both of those, and I'm hoping to get the Master Pro. I don't know if the V13 is gonna be my Sherman replacement because I don't think the Sherman S, after delving into it, I don't think the Sherman S is gonna live up to what I want. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
big enough upgrade. So I think the V13 might be the one that replaces it, or the EX30.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't
But
know. EX30 is going to be great because with it having the 18-inch wheel,
yep,
it's still going to be able to get the acceleration that say the EX or whatever other wheel had. And
right.
then yeah, on top of that, being a smaller package, that's already enough justification for a lot of people because we get UCs to not have as big of a footprint as other vehicles. Um, and then it's going to have a lot for people. I just worry about that damn rim for
Yeah.
all these heavier wheels that are reaching that 100-pound mark.
Well, um, this is one of the ones that has it comes with that tire, but you can request a knobby if you want it.
I hate looking at those pads. It looks so stupid. but
Well,
but that
I'm the opposite.
that tire is not bad.
I love looking at the pads,
It
but
looks good.
I know they're gonna be shit.
Yeah, knowing what we know, it's garbage.
I know they're gonna be shit pads. They just look really good. Like
Because you look at
I'm
the
like,
if they match that front pad on the setup, it's
yep.
gonna mess up a lot of people. Because yeah, anytime anybody's gonna be braking, they're gonna be wobbling like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as acceleration, no one's gonna be able to accelerate because they can't get their body weight forward unless they're like bowing down the whole time.
Well, look, this is just from a glimpse too.
Yeah.
Did you see did you see the actual video uh, that this girl had on the
No.
hold
I
on.
mean, I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna put it up
But
right now. This is a video of her riding it, and you can see, Mickey
oh
was saying,
God.
Mickey was like, yeah, but it's straight up and down. She's not really doing anything, and I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
she's doing nothing.
yeah, but look at that light. I love the
Yeah.
tail light. Finally, a big tail light. It
Yeah.
could be even bigger, but it's definitely better than the previous ones that they've had.
Yeah. So like she's accelerating, but you notice that the pedal dip is what they're relying on to be able to get forward on the wheel, rather
Yeah,
than having power pads more forward to be able to stay
push.
smooth.
Yeah, push the wheel a little bit. I mean, if
Yeah.
I want to be able to just bend my knees slightly and get that push on it, and then
Yeah.
she's able to sit down and get her leg around there because of the cutout, and she was
Mhm.
able to sit down on the wheel. But I don't know.
Yeah. So
I don't
rather
know.
than making the pads flat on for anybody who's making pads like Clark's, Grizzlas, literally anything, rather than making like 90-degree angles, they need to make more wedges.
Yeah.
because having the wedges, it's so much easier to slip past it to be able to get into the seated position. And then on top of that, it'll keep the pads from being able to just rip off
Right.
because
I
you
know
don't
what you
have
mean.
enough adhesion. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
I honestly making pads for wheels like it's legitimately not easy because
it's not.
you need to like it
You need to
really
know what
does
needs to
need to
happen.
tailor to you. Like
Mhm.
everybody's different, and certain when you see a wheel like this that comes with these nice looking pads, just like
Mhm.
the S22, I loved how they look, but I just
Yeah.
they were instantly got to change this.
Yeah,
it's,
for sure.
it's not gonna work. Got to
Yeah.
change it.
If I have free time after this thing, there's a couple of writers from Cali that are in town. But
Okay,
if I could get someone over here, then or Nick, have you met Nick yet? I forget.
which one? Big boy, fast boy, Nick?
No, Nick Vermuco.
Oh no, I haven't met him yet.
Okay, yeah. Well, if he's available, he wanted to help me with setting up, or pretty much redesigning my 3D printed design for
Oh, okay.
pads. So that's going to be something down the line that you guys will potentially see as long as I'm not lazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do what you got to do, man, because a
yeah,
lot of people like everything you can do on a wheel, and a lot of that
for sure.
because the way the pads are. Oh, and I'm
Yeah, man.
sorry, I meant to say what's up to my man U Stride. I saw you in the house. What's up, man? U Stride's in the house. He came in a little late, but we got you, bro. We got you. And he was saying that the KS20 is not an ideal wheel for competition in racing, especially for other racers who know what they're doing. In my opinion, yeah. Well, Law knows what he's
Yeah,
doing, and he can tell you that he
yeah,
raced on the RS before and did
yeah,
a hell of a lot better than his ultimate results on the
yeah,
S22.
yeah. I wanted to definitely. I really just wanted to try it and see how it
Yeah,
handled. Uh,
I thought it was
but
gonna be a winner. I really did.
no, it does great. But I think it would honestly do better in the indoor rally as opposed
Yeah,
to the
yeah, it would
freaking
have.
the other one. But
So
it happens.
Robert says so many dead S22s laying around Alien Ride
That sounds
Shop.
about right. Because without that torque, you're going to overpower it, and then you overpower it, then it's just going to destroy the board even faster. Uh, it hurts just seeing that they're not putting in that extra time to make controllers that are good for wheels, or at least as
Yeah,
good for the amount of torque that we need.
yeah. So what's up, Keith? Man, good to see you. He said he was out in Bentonville, learned how to jump.
This
The
guy.
the silverback samurai. My buddy sold his Monster Pro and got the Master Pro, and there is no comparison. You will love it. See, that's why I'm doing it, because I
Really?
honestly I love the Monster Pro, so I know I'm gonna
Mhm.
love the Master. Does Law still have his Extreme Bull?
Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
the
That
K6.
thing's
Yeah.
it's a good time. I need to fix the bracket on the back end. I was like sitting on the top on the seat while it was like held up, so then it ended up snapping at the this one little
Ooh.
joint. So I just got to rebuild it.
Ooh.
Once that's rebuilt, it's perfectly fine, no issues. But the thing is still a damn rocket ship, and I still have to throw freaking the new tires that Alien Rides gave me.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, for that wheel or for that scooter, if you looked at um, the K6 has a more extended tire at the back end,
Right.
whereas the K5 has like a little bit more of a stubby kind of profile. But having that extended back, it makes it so much more stable and safer on corners.
So you think the newer one is better then?
Yes,
Okay. Which one do you
yeah.
have? You have the
As far
older
as
one,
car,
right?
I have the older K5,
So
but
you ready to trade up?
no, I'm gonna keep it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some like motorcycle like seat foam and
Yeah.
then build it taller. So
Gotcha.
then at least with that it's more ergonomic, and then you'd be able to corner just that slight
That's the
better.
only thing I don't like is it's so low to the ground. That scares me.
It makes it so
Yeah.
much fun, but you're gonna get
Yeah.
so many back problems if you're doing long
Yeah.
rides all the time.
Okay, so we're gonna do a quick thing. I don't have it set up here, but I want to do a speed round, and then you tell me what you think, because we went through some of the wheels before you got here, right?
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
Emotion V13, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yes, buy it. But no,
I'm
and not just yet, because
I,
we want to work out the kinks. Because if we're
right,
gonna deal,
but
say
going
like
by what we know right now, because
what we know,
these are all to come. These are
and
all
this is
like
assuming they're not failing as far
right.
as like the control boards. So assuming control boards don't fail, V13, huge
Yes,
thumbs up.
me too. Huge thumbs up, V13. Okay, Begode, and that you're gonna hear that name a lot. They got like
Sure.
15 wheels, but the
Okay.
EX30
Yes, I like it, but
definitely.
get new fucking side pads because the side pads are dumbass.
Yes, day
They're
one new side
so dumb.
pads.
Yeah.
M104.
M104, fuck yeah, it's the best parking lot wheel. Um, I'm so excited to get my own. But
I
the
call it
this
the best.
again make your own like profiled pads, because
You have to.
the side pads that are on it's not exactly good for the edge, because what happens is if you look at the front of the wheel, it kind of goes on an incline, and
Hmm.
then pressing your leg against it, you end up it kind of encourages your leg to like drift back too far, and then you end up
Right.
wobbling and be a little less controlled.
Oh,
So
that's not good.
if you shim out the lower end, it's going to be more controlled. And then on top of that, if anybody makes their own 3D pads for it, I want them to
Yep.
make like turn it into a flat panel to allow for people to really get around it.
Well,
But yes, thumbs up.
I think it's the you said parking lot. I think it's the best car wheel. I'll call it that.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
could leave a wheel in your car so you always have a wheel, that would be like V1. Like
Yes,
that
easily.
was like so
Or
dope.
actually, no, I take it back. The trolley handle. I'm still on the MCM5 gang.
Really? Oh well, the MCM, but the
MCM5 is
MCM5 is
beautiful.
that's like a big wheel,
It's a 14-inch wheel, so it's like
right?
a tiny step up. But as far as like a wheel to put in your car, it shits on the M10.
So you would say, but the MT, but that's a bigger wheel though. That's not the
It is a
same thing.
bigger wheel, but
The M10
it
is
only
like
weighs maybe less than 5 pounds more than that.
really.
So
So,
yeah, because it's a
but
M103 is
you,
about
but
25-ish
but you
pounds,
can't
very close to
but you're
30.
not gonna put the MCM5 in your backpack. You can put the M10 in your backpack.
Yeah, M10's a backpack wheel. That's great.
Yeah, that's how.
But as far as a car wheel, because it has no trolley handle, like
Okay,
M104 is supposed to have a trolley handle down the line, but
but right
we'll
now
see
it
how
has
that
now
is.
it has a leather strap.
Yeah, if we have exactly the luggage strap, if we end up having the same luggage handle that we did on the M103, I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
overall,
oh.
it's still great.
EUC vibes in the house. What up, Tommy?
What's up, Tommy? Hello, hello.
So Robert says he loved the pedals on the M104 compared to the M103. I did too. I didn't ride them. I just looked at them and they look much better. Oh, look, he said, what about an M10, MCM5 with suspension? 14-inch suspension.
No suspension. No need.
I,
That's trying too
disagree. I say suspension on everything. Put
Yeah.
suspension on the M104.
For something so light and nimble, you don't want to.
But put like a basic suspension,
Maybe something like the V12.
yeah,
Or no,
the
V11. Sorry.
V11, the V11, like
sorry,
just a
little
basic
pipes like that.
two thing, like two rods, nothing
Yeah.
like a whole suspension arm and the you don't need all that, just two little rods, something.
Yeah. No, that
Okay,
makes way more sense.
Master Pro.
Master
Bing
Pro.
bing 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 bing
Uh,
bing.
Get new side pads. It's new side pads make sense. Power pad, brake pad, insert whatever jump pads. But I'm so worried about it being like so chunky up top. But then again, a lot of people are already liking it, and with
Mhm.
the higher profile, it's going to be infinitely easier to sit on. So yes, buy it if you're looking for that top speed and torque. But if you're looking for ergonomics, I want to say it's a no go.
The only thing I
But
don't like about it is I think it's skinny. It's on the skin.
I don't think it's that skinny.
I think it's. I was looking at people riding it, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it looks skinnier than I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be a little thicker because the tire that I
think-
have on my Monster Pro is thicker than
Yeah.
that. But I know the Monster Pro is 24-inch, whereas that's
Yeah.
a 22-inch also.
Yeah, if we're talking about the tire itself, then yeah, it's going to be skinny because it's going to be the same as the V3 or
Yeah.
The Monster V3. But again, with that profile, it's still going to be the same. Like my guess is the same chunkiness as the Master.
Yeah.
And then if it's too tall on the knees, then it's going to bowl a lot of people's legs out, and
Yeah.
it's going to hurt people in that long run. So if you are getting it, then get something that'll space your lower
Yeah.
legs out more to be able to, or just
But
keep your feet out more while you're
as
riding it.
as always with all these wheels,
Yeah.
your pad setup is going to be key to you getting
Yeah.
milking everything out of these wheels, you
Yeah.
know. So what's up to Sensei Vegan? Vegan's in the house. Vegan was out there. We were talking about you a little while ago, Vegan. You were out at the rally. He had the RS, put it in the car, and took out his Tesla. I'm like,
Took out
what?
the Tesla.
He said he felt better on the Tesla on that off road than he did on his RS. I was like, what? So I was surprised. He's the only one I know would do something like that, but that's what he did. So EUC Vibe says V13 versus Master Pro 22-inch battle. Sherman S versus Master Pro V12 versus T. Okay, so V13 versus
V12's a better wheel than the T4 overall, I think. But
the
the
T4 is
T4,
a
the suspension and the way it's smooth as like a regular casual wheel, it beats the V12.
Yes, much better balanced as well.
Yeah.
The balance on the V12 is off, whereas the T4 is perfectly balanced, smooth, has great suspension. The only thing is, again, high speed, you're not going to get out of it. So you can't get you can't get high speed out of the V12. So if you're riding the V12, the T4 you're going to love. Backing that up,
properly trimmed out V12 that beats it. But yeah,
V13 versus Master Pro.
It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for ergonomics and handling, V13. If you're looking for power and like acceleration, Master.
They're different wheels. I don't think those two are good. Like if you put the Master against the
Master
V13,
Pro, sorry.
Yeah, right. If you put the Master against the V13, okay, I could say the V13 wins. The V13 wins. Now this is just off on paper right now, because we haven't really ridden. No one's they've been testing, but we haven't got our hands on the V13. So on paper, I would say V13, but the Master Pro is a bigger wheel, more power, bigger battery. It's just different, and I don't think that's not a good battle.
Yeah. For overall joy, I would say the V13. The Master Pro, it's gonna get that for a drag race. Master Pro easy.
We saw the Master Pro flying.
Master Pro drag race or just longer range, go with that. But if you're looking just for that ergonomic ride, then go V13 route and do less work than on the Master Pro would require.
Yes, and he's saying they're both the larger wheels, but honestly, I think the difference is, for example, the Master Pro is 4,800 watt hours. So that battery, that's what I mean. Like they're both larger size diameter wheels, but the Master Pro it's still the big boy on the block.
Yeah.
Because
it's so weird thinking about the Master Pro for having 4,800 watt hours of battery, because my Extreme Bowl has 4,400, and it's literally like a milk crate of just cells.
Well, it's how they place the cells. I think they did a better job like organizing them. But that's a good point, Vibes. They are closer in size than I really was thinking, because honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot that the V13 was a 22. I was thinking it was a 20, but it is a 22. But if you look at it, you say for high speed, but the V13 has a higher spin, free spin than the Master Pro, but they've already said that they're going to limit it. That's what we were talking about earlier, Vibes, before you got here. They've already, Emotion has already made it clear that they're going to limit it, so it's probably only going to do 55 miles an hour. That'll be the limit. Even though it can do 88 or 75 maybe. You take 10 off, so about 75. They're going to limit it to 55. So if they give us the option, then it might be more interesting if they allow us more speed. Master Pro is just the better wheel for big guys, speed guys, or range guys. Yeah, and it is. Yeah. And I'm the big guy who wants speed and range. So.
Yeah, I'm looking. I definitely see bigger guys using the Master Pro, just because of InMotion's track record as far as like torque goes. Because even their attempt at making a high torque wheel was marginally better than the regular speed version of it. Yeah,
Yep.
have you tried the high torque V12?
I have not. I have not.
Yeah, they had one. Someone had one at the Wheel Life Rally, but
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much if you try that thing, you get more torque, but it's not a significant amount as far as
Right.
like compared to like if you're comparing like high speed RS versus high torque RS, it's worlds apart as far as the way that you can push it. But
Yep.
yeah, it's the knowing the way InMotion works, you're probably gonna want the Master Pro as a bigger guy.
Yeah. Oh, I know I'm gonna want the Master Pro, but I want the V13 too, and I want it
Yeah,
to replace my two. I have, like I said, the Sherman
yeah,
and the Monster Pro. I think the V13 and the Master Pro will be two great replacements for these two
yeah.
wheels.
I think both of those will definitely replace them.
Yeah.
Um, you might miss having the just having the nimbleness of the Sherman of
Um.
just being able to get it around to and from, just
The
like
master.
corner. And,
The Master. I still have that.
oh yeah, the Master. That's true. Yeah, yeah. You're fine. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I still have something that
Yeah,
is more nimble, so I can. I'm like, yeah, I
yeah.
got that. I got that part covered.
Yeah, you're good.
And unless I swap out that for the EX30.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
she's saying bye. Hi.
yeah.
Hi. So Robert was saying Master Pro 4800 watt hour battery doesn't sag as much and can stay at speed for a long time. Yes, and yes.
Mhm. Yeah,
Exactly why I want it.
yeah, for sure. Let me take a piss and say goodbye to my girlfriend real quick.
Go, 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 because she's waiting for you, man. She's
Yeah, I'll
waiting
be
for
like
you.
2 minutes if that.
Yeah. So, guys, looking at what we have here, if you guys look at if you're looking at these wheels, I know you're feeling the same way I am. I'm excited, but I still keep it to like measured excitement because, you know, things come out and then they're not as amazing as you think they might be. I thought that I would be like overwhelmed with the all the wheels that are coming out, but the S22, I'm very upset with all the wheels that have come and had problems. Watching Law struggle with the S22 at the rally was disheartening because I thought it was going to do much better. I didn't realize that the torque would not be enough, and it would be. He said it was a little too heavy for him. And then when it shut off, well, you know, he skidded out, it turned off, and he couldn't get it back on, so he ended up losing that race. I mean, all those things that happened had me like, whoa! I thought it was going to be much better. So my anticipation for all these wheels is measured. That being said, I'm still excited for the V13 and I'm still excited for the Master Pro. I want to get my hands on both of those. So, what do you say? I think I'll do the V13 and the T4 and M10 for a perfect lineup. Well, the V13, yes. The T4, I think is gonna be. It might be too slow for you, Tommy. The M10-4 definitely for fun and playing. And I didn't include that in my lineup, and I'm wondering if I can talk my way into making that my fourth wheel because it's only half a wheel. It don't count. I don't know. The M10-4 is just a toy, unfortunately. Well, yeah, but it's a fun toy. Honestly, I was riding the M10-3 around at the Amped Electric Games, and I didn't realize how much fun I could have on it. And I was trying to learn how to ride backwards, and I wish I was able to bring it home so I could learn some more. So I wish I had one. So getting the M10-4 might be an option. Um, you know, it's a lot of fun, and it doesn't look. I don't know. Some people look at the wheel and I ain't riding that. That thing looks cute. It's little, so maybe I can convince more people to ride, namely my family. I don't know. We shall see. Keith, thank you very much, Keith. Thanks for the super chat. Seattle vibes. I appreciate you, brother.
Let's go.
Yeah, I like it. So Ronan, true, they should have gave it more power, a fun trick wheel and family wheel to teach. Yeah, but I don't think you can put too much more power in the M10-4. I think it's a great wheel. I think it's gonna do a lot of things. what is selling price of your of your Monster Pro? I haven't determined that yet because I'm having trouble letting it go because it's completely tailored. I have the green and black on it. They call it the Green Machine. It looks amazing. It rides amazing, and I'm scared to let it go. So I don't know yet. Hit me up. Send me a message on IG or Messenger or whatever. If you're interested in my both my Sherman and my Monster Pro. I already had somebody who was gonna buy the Sherman, and I couldn't decide. And finally, the day I said, "All right, I'll sell it to you," he said, "I just bought something else." I'm like, "Oh damn!" So I said, "Good, I'll just keep it." Oh yes, yeah. Hold on, I didn't even see you down there. Hang on, I got you, brother. Let me get my man back in. There he goes.
There we go.
Yeah. I have muted you because I could hear you running around over there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, my bad.
So I got you. Yeah, we were just talking.
Sure.
They were asking me about my Sherman and my Monster Pro. Somebody asked me about a price, and I said I don't know yet. I'm having trouble letting go of it. I don't know yet. I had the same issue with my Sherman the other day. I was talking to somebody on direct message, and he was like, "Yo, tell me how much," because I'm thinking about getting. He was getting an S20. I mean, an S18, not an S20, S18, and he's like,
no.
I'm trying to get he said I was gonna buy this S18, and I think the Sherman might be more than what I wanted.
So he bought the S18.
And so I was like, oh, I don't know. I said, I'll let you know. He said, yeah, keep me posted. I'll hold out. So then, like, 2 days later, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I said, you know what? All right, man. I'm in. You can have it. And he said, oh, man, I just bought the S18.
They need to make the better iteration of the S18. So the original S18 design had an external bag or external pack that you'd be able to like pretty much plug in directly to it. If they ended up remaking the design of the S18 and kept it the same way, just add that extra bit of cell, that would be nice.
Yeah.
But who knows if they'll ever do that.
I think I got a message already. Hold on. Oh, okay, I thought that was the dude already. I'm like, he already said that would have been cool, but no, that was Ashley. That was Ashley posting something on her stuff. But yeah, all right. So I let's see. I think we get through the whole list. I don't think we did. Oh, Master X. Master X. Do you think that's even worth $400 less? And you get 3,600 watt hours instead of 4,800 watt hours. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think that $400 is enough to drop that price to get 3,600 watt hours instead of 4,800?
I would drop it if they drop the price down a little bit more. I'd be all in with the X versus the regular Monster Pro.
See, I thought that was a good idea.
Master Pro, sorry.
I thought the same thing. If you get me under $4,000, if you gave it to me for $39.99. Then okay, I might say yes, but I'm still over 4,100. I'm still at 4,200, as opposed to 4,600. I don't think it's enough. I don't know. I don't think it's enough of a discount to drop down.
Right.
I don't know.
I get that because I really love the Monster V3 was a great wheel.
Yes.
Outside of like its paper mache shell,
it did have a paper mache shell. I said like that too.
if we had something more robust, like insert Monster Pro or Monster X or whatever, insert Godway bullshit.
Well, you saw the Monster Pro survive that crash.
Yeah, no, it's functional.
I was surprised.
It's surprising. Yeah, no, because I guess the original design was a little bit more concerning. But again, even just having that front bumper makes a world of difference. But again, I think what their design idea was for having it like kind of cornered out in the end just increased the likelihood of it sliding on its side rather than going like head on. But who knows?
Yeah. Well, that one definitely went end over end. You could see the light bulb flicker. I was like, ooh. I was like, that wheel's toast. And then he picks it up and turns it on. I said, get the hell out of here. Yo, I was like, what? That wheel survived that?
Yeah.
He was doing, I think 60 miles an hour. I don't know. I think I think he was trying to push. He was in kilometers, so he was trying to push 100.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever
Oh,
it was, I know he was pushing that wheel. He was killing it, and I'm
Mhm.
like, that dude is flying, and then smash. I'm like, oh, but he slid a lot, thank God.
Mhm.
And I don't think. I
Yeah.
mean, he did get hurt. He broke. I think he broke. I think they said a finger and a rib, or
Uh-huh.
fractured a rib and broke a finger, something like that.
Yeah, it could be worse than that.
Yeah,
I'll
it
take
could be much worse. All right, so next up, so we both give the thumbs up to the Master Pro
Yeah.
and the Master X.
I give it to the X.
I just think I think it should be money
It's not
wise.
for everybody, but yeah, it should be cheaper.
Yeah, it definitely should be cheaper. All right, so next up was the Sherman S. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Sherman S.
Sherman S. Down.
I-
I'm against it.
I'm gonna say
Sorry.
in the middle for the Sherman S because it was a thumbs up when I thought Sherman with suspension.
Yeah.
But then when I looked at the fact that they did not update, they still are at 100 volts. That didn't go anywhere. 3,600 watt hour. That's not top of the list. Only a 3,000 watt motor, which I know I'm saying only, but all the rest of these motors are like bumping up. The only one even close to that is a 3,500 watt hour on the Streamboat Commander Pro. Like every other wheel is higher and more powerful, and I'm like, what? And you're gonna charge me $4,150? No. You know what? Never mind. I rethink that. No.
How long do you think it's going to take before you see companies stop playing the whole dick measuring contest and just go for ergonomics?
A while, because they don't do any. If you notice, they're all reacting. They're reactive.
Yeah.
They're not like, let's make the best wheel we could possibly make.
Mhm.
It's usually, let's make a wheel better than theirs.
Yeah, it's I want to say maybe 2 years, but then again, it depends on who we talk to and if we can. I personally want to fucking fly to China and talk to every company and
Well,
see
you
if I
should.
can get any push on that shit.
You should just
Yeah,
go
we'll see
there.
what happens.
Go there and say, you know who I am.
God.
So you know who I am. Fix this shit. That's what you got to do.
Like I was honestly thinking of like if I did fly over there, then I would bring fucking puzzle mats and literally just EVA foam just to be able to make shit over there.
Yeah.
And show them where everybody's fucking up and how they can make it better with simple fixes.
You're like, dude, this is what we need right here. Just do this. Got it? Good. See you later.
Right.
I was trying to find pictures.
Have you tried the EX20?
Yeah, and I was pissed because it was heavy. It was too heavy. Didn't have enough torque, and it had that fucking tire that I hated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I rode George's. Go George, go.
Okay.
I went and
Yeah.
visited him and rode his, and I was like, oh, cool. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, this thing is heavy as fuck. Then I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, whoa, what's that flopping? You're scaring me. You trying to drop me? it was flopping over. Then I was like, man, this
Yeah.
is so heavy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah, if you try like or before Ray Rockney when he was at Amped Electric Games, I tried his street tire. It felt good, and then I had a couple buddies in or during West Wheel in Portland. Some guys brought them from San Francisco, and then
Okay.
playing with their wheels, they had street tires also, and it made a huge difference to make it tolerable.
Well, I think that's definitely a key. The tire itself, it really pissed me off. It was like I was angry. Like I was like, why would you put a tire that's
Yeah.
gonna kill me? Like that's how I felt. I mean, although it
Yeah.
wasn't, it's just how I felt because it scared me.
No, it's inconsistent because the knob patterns are in straight lines, and then you have gaps in between. So that
Yep.
every time you're in between those gaps, then you're drifting off to the side. And everything that we're dealing with right now roots from people glorifying the Sherman and its tire.
Yeah, yeah.
If you look back on it,
But the thing is, I love the Sherman tire. The Sherman tire, but the thing
no,
about
the Sherman tire is the same exact thing.
no,
but the only difference is that it's with it being lower height. You don't notice that issue as much because it's also heavy, and then lower to the ground makes it easier to
but
control.
it doesn't have the profile's not flat. It's
Yeah, it's
more
not flat.
rounded. So
Yeah.
that's the difference is because I'm looking at it right here and like
Right.
it does have the knobbies in a line, although
Right.
the side knobbies are off alignment,
Yeah.
so they're supposed to catch
Yeah.
that. But also that the curvature of the wheel gives you, so you slowly go
Right.
over to the side and you don't go
I
bloop
get you.
like like I'm like
Another
wait.
factor. Another factor is if you put that tire or the like
Mhm.
original like 262 under the Sherman again, like a completely fresh one, you're gonna notice a difference where it is doing that same drifting. Because what happens is as you end up like wearing the tire down, the knobs
Right.
get shorter, and then as the knobs get shorter, it acts a little bit more like a street tire, and it's more reactive to being on an angle.
Yeah.
So those are all little factors that play into dealing with that knob pattern.
Yeah, well, I know that the difference, and I wish I had my Shinko down here so I could look at it and,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
talk to
the
it.
244. It's
Oh,
244 is magic in relation.
love that tire. Like
Yep.
I can't even give that tire enough praise. I love that tire so much.
Like
But
even the S20 tire, that one's quality also. It's just a knockoff
yes,
244, but the only problem with it is it feels harder than the 244, so then it doesn't bite on the ground as hard, so then you end up sliding more.
right, right. Okay, so let's round this out because I can't. I
Yeah.
just noticed that I'm at 3 hours.
Shit.
I'm
Okay.
like, holy shit. Okay, so the extreme. We already talked about it. I know what you're gonna say. The Extreme Bull
Yeah.
Commander Pro.
Fuck that guy. Don't even bother with that.
We
Give me
both say
one
no to that.
second. 1 second.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. So the other two was the T4, which I love and he loves, so we're good on that. And the King Song new 16-inch wheel, which we don't have enough information to give you anything on that.
Okay.
So,
All
so
right. Yeah. Fuck.
hi, bye. So I just went through it real quick. I was telling everybody that the Bigode T4 we both liked, so we would both be
Yes.
giving that a thumbs up.
I like that. The caveat to the Commander also, if they make it hollow bore motor, so give us a little bit more torque on it, and if that profile becomes the same in terms of the way it's contacting your leg, then I'm okay with it again.
So if they change the wheel completely, it'll be good.
Maybe we don't know yet because we need to see
But that-
how it feels against the leg.
but
And we
that's
need to
what
see
I'm saying.
How wide it is. There's so many different factors that go into
But you
it.
just what you just described is a whole different wheel.
Yeah, at best,
Yeah, we're gonna go with no on that one. That's not a winner. So, and
Yeah,
the
right.
T4, and then the King Song's new 16-inch wheel that we don't know anything about. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but those were all the wheels. That's all of our opinions as far as what the wheels are concerned. I'm gonna close it out now. I thank you guys, everybody, for jumping in the chat. We had like 50 people at one point, which is I really appreciate you guys for showing up. Real Life Rally was amazing. I thank God everybody. I mean, I thank God for everybody that showed up, and thank God that nobody got hurt. That we had a really fantastic event. Positive, wonderful attitudes as always. And I think next year is going to be even bigger. So make sure that
as
you
far
guys-
as the jumps go, I think
ahead.
the jumps, if we're building jumps, you need to make
Yep.
like a little bit longer tabletops.
yes, he made those.
If you did
He
that,
made
then
those
that would
the,
be nice.
the
'Cause-
he made those the
Yeah,
night
'cause
before because I
Yeah.
sent him a video of the Thunderdome, and he goes, "I can't do that." He said, I
Yeah.
can't do that." And I said, "I understand. Do
Right.
whatever you can." And that's all he came up
Yeah.
with the last minute.
No,
But
the dirt mount, the little
Yeah.
mounds help. I would add more. Even.
yeah, that's what
Like
I
literally
said.
just add a long series of that just to make
Yep.
people struggle that little bit more because we're
I-
already on that route of this is the struggle track. Let's add more struggle.
I told
then-
him how much I loved it, and he said next year he's gonna do more. So
Yeah, if he takes logs and just a bunch of logs, stacks them all up, and then you force people to ride over
Yep.
each one of them. That'd be great.
that's another thought. I was even thinking if you put an obstacle in a way that you have to leap without a jump.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, that'd be great.
ooh,
Uh-huh.
you got to pull your wheel up in the air.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna get more diabolical next year. All I can say is
Okay.
I really loved that everybody showed up. I was very happy. Thank you so much, Law. It meant a lot to me. I know you traveled
Of
a long
course.
distance,
Oh,
and I
definitely.
really I appreciate you, brother, because it meant a
Do it
lot
for
to
you,
me.
bud.
Yeah, a lot to me that you were able to come. And if those who missed it, look, you missed it because it was a lot of fun. One guy in the chat, he said, man, it was a lot of fun. He said it was very hectic, but it was a lot of fun. I said, yes, we had a lot going on. And every year I learn a lot from the event, and I work on things a lot better. Now we have the website that we're going to be able to use. And I urge people that when we start going forward and we get close to the event, I urge people to go ahead. And next year, the price is going up a little, but you're going to get a t-shirt as part of your payment, because I want everybody to get a shirt. And tell them, didn't you think it was worth it?
Honestly, if even like how much was it last time, or for the last one?
This one was $30, but before it was
if we bumped it even to like, if we bumped it up honestly to like 70, 75, 80, whatever, like around that price range, people would still go, because we're like, you look at the people who are willing to raise, people who are more diehard riders, they'll put the money in. They're already buying fucking $1,000 wheels or multiple $1,000 wheels. But if adding the extra dollar to the event, that only makes it better.
Yeah,
and
again,
that's it's what definitely not just going into your pocket, because
that's what I try to explain to people. I was like, look, this has all just been coming out of my pocket. I have never made a dime, and I'm like, I'm only doing this because I want to do it. And
of course,
if I charge more, then I'd be able to number one, look, I even got a DJ. We had a DJ there this year. And he's like, you didn't really need it. I said, I know, but I wanted us to be able to have the music. I need more staff. That's the other thing. So I need more volunteers next year, to be dedicated volunteers, to just be able to help, because I didn't get to race, because I knew if I raced, there's no way I could have been able to do all the things, all the running around. So I didn't. So again, the price will be a little bit more than this year, but it's going to be including a t-shirt. It's well worth it. And then some, and all I can say is you got to be there. So Wheel Life Rally next year is going to be even bigger. Every year I want to make it bigger. So make sure you come. Law makes a hell of a trip to be there. All the guys from New York, I appreciate Mickey. Like, Mickey was like, look, you know, he doesn't have a car. He wasn't sure he's going to be able to make it, but he was able to jump. Yeah, he was able to jump in with Law, and they were able to make it. So I thank you for grabbing him as well.
Of course.
And I think all the New York guys, everybody that made it, because there's a lot of guys in the chat. I appreciate all of you guys that made it. That was really amazing to see everybody. And EUC Vibes, he was in the house. Like I said, we had so many there. I can't even go on, but I'll tell you, you got to make it next year. So all the new wheels that we had, I had the whole list right here. I don't know about you, but I want to ride them all. But I mean, you're
thoughts
lucky.
On the XM. What do you think about the XM?
Which one?
What do you think about the Bigote XM, or the Extreme Bull XM? Sorry.
The one that this guy had.
Paul.
Paul.
I think his name.
I didn't get a chance to ride it.
It's an RS, but it feels better as far as like what potentially can happen, because it's lower to the ground, or like the it's lower against your shin, and then it gets a little bit skinnier also.
Everybody that rode it said they really liked it. Everybody that rode it.
It's a better feeling RS. From what I've been seeing online, a lot of people are having issues with like the crash bar get like dented or getting dented, and then pretty much making the wheel feel more like shit. But at the same time, just having something there is great. But just the general shape of the XM is more promising than the RS for sure.
That's the other thing is Paul was saying. First of all, he's in love with it. He was like, oh my God, I love this wheel. I'm so glad I'm gonna buy this wheel. I was like,
I actually asked
Paul.
him if he was keeping it or selling it. Then I wanted to buy it.
Yeah, he was in love with it. He's like, yeah, I'm not letting this wheel go. I was like, okay. So Grill Piece, he was saying, still an amazing event. Live commentators. Yes, listen, I had all my gear to set this up, what you see right here. I was gonna do this live from my laptop on scene on top of the building, on top of one of the little containers there, but I couldn't be up there and do that and still be running around organizing and running the event. So
unless you got a ramp.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't have enough time to climb up, climb down. Yeah, a ramp might have done it. I might have been able to ride my wheel right up, sit down, say, all right, next up, and then blah, blah, blah. I'll be back.
As long as you don't overshoot. As long as you don't overshoot it, you're good.
He hit a jump that was not meant to be a jump. No. Okay. So all right, we're gonna wrap it up because I'm gonna keep talking all night. So thanks again, man. I appreciate you, Law.
Oh, of course.
You my man.
Anytime,
you know,
anytime.
for you, brother. Round of applause. Round of applause. And I'll see you soon in something coming. I don't know where, but
whenever, we'll see.
Yeah.
Are you gonna show up to the fucking, what is it?
Apple Valley?
Apple Valley, yeah, that thing's coming up.
That one's in Cali though, right?
It's in Cali.
Yeah, that's too far. It's
right.
it's too far for this year because it's well, when is it?
It's in like November.
Yeah, it's too far for this year because this year I already went to Alaska with the military. I went to Jersey with the military. I went to,
True story.
you know, right. So and then
Jersey's a drive. That's easy.
And then yeah, but I did it twice in one day. I drove there. I got to New York, left my uniform, had to come back home 2.5 hours, then go back 4 hours to Jersey. Then come. It was a whole ordeal. But I did those things. Then I also went to Arkansas for 5 days.
Yeah.
So
True story.
This year I'm a little tapped out on time to be able to get away from work. But next year I'm going to make more events. I'm hoping I'm going to schedule it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens next year. But I definitely will be paying attention and seeing if I can get some good info. So if you want to feed me anything that any videos or whatever, you know, that I can hook up, let me know. But we'll talk, man. And I'm gonna need some more help connecting with Yuko because I want to do some more with them as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll get you connected.
Yeah, man. But you know, because since my man is not there no more, so I need another hookup. So let me know. But hit me up, man. We'll talk. To you guys in the chat, we'll see you on the next one, y'all. Deuces.
See you guys. Love you guys.